All right, let me see. They can't see us. Hello, hello. Hey guys, how's it going? So we're here with RPK Guild Leader Ku and Officer Kulshan. And Hayas, are you an officer? Or you're just like a veteran member.
He's an officer.
He's an
Specifically,
officer.
also
Okay.
was always the recruitment officer during my administration.
Okay. Cool. Oh, let me hit this record button. Oh, okay, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll just get the VOD. It's fine. I was gonna try and record it on top of streaming it, but never mind. Anyways, so we'll just start with intros, and you guys, all of you, just go ahead and introduce yourselves and like maybe something about you or like anything you want to mention, and then we'll just jump into like the interview part of it.
All right. Well, I think most of the MO community, they know my in-game name in MO1 was Zwei, Zwei. But all my last name and my characters were Aku. But in MO2, I'll be using the Aku name. But during MO1, everyone, like on comms and RPK,
Mm-hmm.
always knew me as Aku because it's the name I used in many games. And I was the founder of RPK and the leader of it until the 5-week DDoS, where leadership was passed, and then leadership got resumed, which then after 3 years of that, and then 9 months after that, a civil war happened.
Okay. Who would like to go next? Kulshan?
Okay, so
Hayas?
yeah, I'll go. So, well, everyone knows who I am, the infamous horse killer from Bhakti, and actually, I got recruited into RPK on my free to play. My character name was free to play,
You were a
and
spy, actually,
yeah,
for
I was a
ID.
spy. I'm the original. I'm the original spy that infiltrated RPK.
For who?
I
He
was
was
an
ID.
NWO at the time, yeah, for ID's group in there. So we just formed
Oh,
an alliance with ID, and then RPK invited my free to play, and then I discovered the quote unquote dark side wasn't really what it was all made out to be.
okay. And it was actually called RPK at this time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, Kulshan.
Gulshan, most people probably know the name of Manflayer, which is my siege engineer.
Hmm. I know Manflayer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Kulshan was his just his tamer.
Is this Tamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just use them to get horses and shit.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe we'll just start with like some simple questions, like more about like your guild, like how it will work going into MO2, like present day. Can you tell us like anything about like your rank structure? Like how does leadership work in RPK? Is it like a dictatorship or is it more like democracy, like where people all vote, or like how does it work?
Under my leadership, it's always been a dictatorship. Um,
Yeah.
when
But
Ali was in charge for those 3 years, it was, I guess, a democracy.
No, it was a like one of those dictatorships that in the background was a dictatorship because she overruled. If she didn't like the decision, she just overruled it without telling you.
But
That's how
the
I lost recruitment manager because she wanted to recruit and I was refusing people in and only letting in one person at a time. And then I got overruled and I said, "Fuck it." Oh, am I
but
allowed swearing on the stream?
it's
Yeah, you could
usually
swear.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
Just don't say like anything like sexist or racist or you know what I mean.
it's usually
yeah,
a dictatorship. But I mean, Aku will listen to like a council. We'll give him, but he makes this final decision.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a dictatorship. But I have my officers. My weak areas, I delegate to officers like Hayasa. I always had him as a recruitment officer because I'm terrible with recruitment, and I gave him full autonomy. You know, you just do what you got it covered. I don't interfere with it. Um, but and also any type of foreign relations, which our foreign relations were limited. Uh, People under instructions of if it's not coming from me, you know, it doesn't count when dealing with other guilds. Um, so a lot of the officers is mainly for handling internal stuff and giving me advice. And my main role in the clan is to make sure we stick to the vision of the clan, you know, to maintain our integrity of what it was founded for, and um, and sometimes that means going against the majority of the advice because sometimes just because the majority wants something doesn't mean that's the correct action for the health of the clan.
I always
Okay.
beat the drum with the founding principles.
Yeah, Cool Sean has always been my you know go-to old wise man. Um, as long as I had tough decisions. Cool Sean's been with me in AI. Um, AI did not know about my character Zvi though. Anytime I logged on Zvi, Cool Sean would message me, "Murderer!" It was just hilarious.
And SOP,
And then also in SOV, we were together. That was a a splinter guild off of they split off of Wessex, and um yeah, me, Executioner, and Killox got kicked out of SOV.
What was it? It was something. It
It
was
was
something of nights.
You just
I
tuned
think it was
into the latest
Sovereignty
channel
or
on
something. I
Twitch.
forget.
yeah,
But
sovereignty. SOV,
Okay.
short for sovereignty.
if you're thinking of Killox's clan, KOV, that was Knights of Vengeance.
Oh, okay. I
This
was
is
thinking of KOV.
this is
Okay.
way before
It was
that.
before KOV.
Okay. Okay.
RPK
Okay.
RPK was
didn't.
around before the Awakening patch. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
that.
it was before Awakening patch.
I don't know. Honestly, my memory back then. So I started playing in 2014. So this is probably before even 2014. I would
Yeah,
imagine.
years before that.
Yeah. So I don't know about this stuff.
I think Killox prior was in Black Hand, was it? And then he went to SOV when he came back.
Okay. So I know there's some a couple juicy questions I want to ask, but I want to ask like one more real quick. Like let's slide like an easy one in. But maybe I don't know if this is an easy question, but if you had to like pick a guild, and I'm saying have to pick a guild, that you like maybe not necessarily feared, but like respected, like when you went into PvP with them, like what guild from MO1 would you say like was like up there?
You want us each to answer our own choices?
Sure, yeah.
Uh, the person I actually respected the most, it wasn't due to PvP ability, but I would say Aralis. He was a Care Bear, but he was adamant about his vision, and I saw him as someone that would never give up. And frankly, I was greatly disappointed when he did give up. That was, you know, yeah, I did not. Yeah, I just never expected the old man to ever give up. I thought it would be always, because it was content for us. It was always ID gave us constant content. But him wanting to
For how
yeah,
long was that little war? Little.
the, where we just went nuts and blew up half the server. That blew up all 10 of his alliance keeps and probably 50 palisades. That was from December 2015 to April 2016.
Yeah, it began long before that.
But yeah, the rivalry with ID was going on many years before that. Before RPK, I even made RPK.
Yeah, it was never ending. They were enemy
Yeah,
number one. I
I
agree
was
though.
I was a solo red, and they were blowing up my storage at Meduli.
They were by far my favorite enemy. I mean,
So
it was bittersweet when we actually finally won and eliminated everything.
mhm.
It was like the dog chasing the car. I wish we didn't never caught the car.
Guys wish you had pumped the brakes a little bit at the end to like give them some breather room so they
I
would
just wish they lasted.
No, not gonna do that. It's just I thought that Arouse was like with like us, polar opposite views, but that people always called us cockroaches that you could not get rid of, and I thought ID was the same way.
Yeah, like the immovable object meets the irresistible force. I thought it was just going to go on forever.
What about you, Hayasa? What do you think?
Well, I look at the game in terms of PvP, just straight up fighting. So the one place that we never really fought at until like way later was in Cornesh and even GK. But out in the open, the original EC group would have been the group that I really would have wanted to fight, and like have their guys with us. I wish there was more fight, but they wouldn't really leave their comfort zone. And the home field advantage is a huge advantage when fighting, especially when you have big egos. You always want to make sure you win. So it's them if I ever saw them out, which they did come out a few times, but I respected them the most because it was just fighting. It wasn't anything else, and you trash talk later. But everyone else, no, I didn't really. I wasn't nervous about fighting anyone else other than them because you had to be organized fighting them.
Okay, that's fair. I heard some good stuff about EC back in the day. Um,
Yeah,
nice.
it's the original, not the new age crank. Yeah, they're all whatever. The original group.
Did that original group build the keep, or was that later on, like a
Yeah,
different?
they had it. Like you said,
Well, no,
the
that
problem with
keep was
them
under
is
7L,
yeah,
but I think it was a
yeah.
lot of the original still.
Yeah, it was EC, and then they began 7L kind of started to come up or whatever. But I think the original group they broke up. They all fun like internal whatever. But the original EC group, yeah, I would have really liked to fight them more if they were more active when I started playing a lot.
Yeah, I don't think the original EC would have declared a peace treaty with fucking guts. That was just there was a 7L guts war, and um, we were on 7L's side, and the war was being won, and I don't understand why 7L did a peace treaty.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they didn't feel like sieging or something. I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to PvP and not worry about sieging.
I just remember Stoles. He said on their comms, "You guys are all pussies."
Who
Yeah,
stoles?
uh,
Look,
he was people. Stoles, Donkey Show, Donkey Milk, and a bunch of other character names.
he's
yeah.
from
Well,
RPK, or
Yeah,
yeah,
one
he's
of my
okay.
officers.
one of the originals too. Yeah, because what happened in comms that day, we showed up because the war was going on, and then they're like, "Oh, RPK is here. Don't bash any more guts towers. Let's go look for PvP instead." And then Stoles called them all pussies and comms, and like left.
It was during that war that actually had the first meeting with Discord on the MO TeamSpeak, and
All about the war deck.
the first words out of Discord's mouth was, "My entire support staff is telling me to ban all of RPK."
Oh,
Why?
just the exclamation point.
Um, one support staff always, the player GMs always hated us. We only got any customer service through Discord, but our exclamation point was causing bugs in our guildstone, and they which Discord figured out. Um, and it was causing that sometimes war deck flagging wasn't working properly, and people flag gray in town on both sides. And that's why we within 24 hours our exclamation point got taken away.
Yeah, so they would appear orange for us, and we would be blue to them, and they would accuse us of cheating and hacking because well,
Oh, okay.
you're attacking someone and you're not turning gray, but like they think we're blue. It's funny though because that was all happening while we were finding somebody doing Siniferum runs into Tendrome and making stacks and stacks of gold.
Oh yeah, the people
That
that they made like 50 stacks of gold by exploiting.
Yeah. That's when it was like right around that time. I think is when the war deck was broken because I just finished fighting people with Terrex, and then that was like the beginning because those guys were running away. They're flagging gray, and I was like, hey, they're hitting each other, but turns out they're actually just hitting us. And then I think the following day you had the meeting with Discord.
Um,
People think we have a phishing hack. We had the
yeah, I
phishing
read that.
macro from AI, but we were in. Some of us were, including myself, were in AI.
Yeah,
AI.
Jump made it.
Yeah,
And he was
And
in RPK with us too.
yeah, a lot of AI members, a good handful, um, when were in RPK. And
Yeah.
Nightshade actually bought us our first keep deed.
yeah, AI boss, the first keep deed, which um, we used as a troll. We just threw it down as a troll on ID.
Oh, people got mad that we didn't actually defend that keep.
Well, the thing
It
is,
was funny.
that keep we had people on to we didn't know it was getting siege because there was the alert tower exploit, which it took I think Discord over 6 months. He was on our guildstone to try to figure it out because our alert towers never worked, but ID figured out an exploit to make alert towers not work. I forgot what it was, but
What was it? The dragging the person away from the actual alert tower because his radius is based on its location.
oh
Was it that
yeah,
one?
and then that's when they changed that hitting an alert tower, the guard keeper triggered the alert as well. That got patched in. But yeah, if we would have known that troll keep was under siege, we would have defended it.
So maybe now's a good time to just summarize the war with ID, like in your own words. Like when did it like actually start? I mean, I know you said they were killing you when you were solo, so maybe like start when you created RPK, and when you created RPK, how did that like when did the actual war start? Like when sieging started, I guess.
Um,
Uh, so
sieging, well, so sieging, don't count sieging before I made RPK.
Well, yeah, I mean like as a guild, not just as a
Wait,
player.
when we first started RPK, we couldn't siege because no one would sell us. This is after they took everything off the vendor.
Yeah, there's no
Can't get
more
anything
boulders on
boulders.
utility vendors.
And they're all in a pack. They wouldn't sell us. No keep owner would sell us boulders. And this is before you could pick them off the ground too, and there was no stone cutter.
Right.
A lot of the time, we just had to take it. But
Yeah,
once
we
they
had
added
yeah,
cutter,
What do you
all
mean
we
take
did
it?
of you just rebuild. You can't do any retaliation besides blow up TC towers. But back then, you had a lot of people, a lot of guilds exploited their TC towers. Like the quad one, controlling MK was literally in the clouds. It was done by exploits. Quad members admitted to it after they left the game. They admitted to us that they did use exploits to put that TC tower back in the day.
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So it's difficult to say because the thing is that like the war with ID, like we were after the 7L war or whatever, the entire server converged on RPK, so there wasn't really any discrimination in terms of who we were fighting. We literally we fought on a regular basis. The game was a ton of fun. There was always content for us because everyone was holding hands. Because the only way to siege is you have to own a keep back then. Then when they began to when they introduced the stone cutters, we actually had a negotiation at one point with the Morin keep spot. I don't know if it was under Doom or Fate, one of the Russians. We began to funnel boulders out of there secretly, and we were able to siege a little bit, destroy a few things, but nothing, significant you can say until the stonecutter came up. Because when
What
stonecutters came up, then we were able to fight, and that's with the TC patch.
what agreement did you come to? Because I'm confused. Like, what are they getting out of it to put themselves at such risk to like
I,
fight all
I
the other
think I
keep
think
owners?
the
Profit. It
rushing,
was just profit margin. We were
yeah,
paying
because
a markup on boulders.
yeah, we pay what 50 silver or 1 gold per
I,
boulder.
I forget.
I
It
think
It
it
was
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 it
at
was
both.
it
least
was
50,
it
at
was
least
something
50
like that.
silver.
Yeah, it was something like that. So that's 5 times the cost of a boulder
Oh,
off the
okay.
vendor. So, and then at the same time too, the guy running the keep, I think his guild went inactive. Doom kind of made their peace with us, where like, okay, you know what, we won't blacklist you anymore or whatever. But then that guy ended up going to Quad anyways, down the road. The guy that we had the agreement with. But where the attention really came on ID, because we were having fun war decking all over the place, like fighting people all over. Where the attention really got drawn back on ID again, because there was a lull in their sieging and destroying us. So it was other people doing it. We actually had a guy we recruited that he went into ID's territory, and he realized that some of these guys in ID, they have like, because before you can have like 100 free to play accounts, and you would log in on one free to play, mine, log out, log into the next free to play, mine, log out. and they had like a macro that would do this. So they'd open a bunch of windows and rotate. So he sat there, and I remember listening to him in comms. I kept asking this guy. His name was Dreadsoul. I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
I'm just
Dreadsoul.
waiting. I'm just waiting." I'm like, he literally sat there for hours as I'm going around doing stuff. And next thing he was like, "Ah, I found him." He starts killing them as they log in. And he's like, "Hey, can somebody bring some donkeys or mulvas because I got 17 stacks of calcs." And then next thing you know, like the next day we get sieged, and then all the attention got put back on ID after that. It was the funniest thing ever.
But also, MO1's history, it was typically every year there'll be a server war, and
Yeah.
ID was typically involved on one side, and we always went to the other side. Um, but for actual sieging, uh, where we just blew up all ID's keeps, that actually happened because um, one, they started blacklisting. They blacklisted Water Surfer and some other people from Moki, and then Aralis said he wanted to grief us out of the game. So that was the reason where we actually took the sieging seriously.
Well, he tried to take Toxide. That's when everybody came back.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. No, no, that
Oh,
was
wasn't that NWO Diesel?
no, the toxide thing was after we blew up ID the first time. Water Surfer was building those
Yeah.
towers.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
the
that
last
that was
war.
God. That was God trying to take it back, and that's kind of like the reemergence of that alliance.
Yeah, the elimination war where we went hardcore.
Yeah, that was after ID lost their keep the first time. So that would have been 2015 to 2016. 2014 is when we blew up their thing, blew up their keep the first time.
Yeah, the
Was
LD
what
keep spot.
2014? Yeah, the LD keep spot, and then we beat the game the first time, right? So beat the game a second time in 2016.
So from ID's perspective, like why do you think like they kept blowing up your stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like what was the purpose of the war from their perspective
Oh, they
in
were
your
direct about that. It was
Y-
because we killed them and their allies because we were murdering people. That was their justification for sieging.
yeah,
That's just their
they
point of view.
Well, in their territory.
yeah, their territory. Yeah, they
Oh
had like
yeah, kill them because the thing is, I guess they considered that we were living in their territory. Oh,
no, we,
yeah,
we were roaming in their territory. That's where they came out the whole east of anything east of the Moki River is
Yeah.
ours. If you come in here and kill one person, we're gonna blow you up. Essentially, is their whole motto.
And
And
we
yeah,
didn't care. Just like bring it.
Okay.
yeah. We haven't. I don't put rules. I don't have any rules dictating who you can't kill. We attack everybody, even if it's like like we're roaming and we run into another like say RPK member and he's hanging out with people and he'll say, "Oh, don't kill them. They're my friends." No, we murdered them. You know. Shit, we even murdered our own people if they were not tagged in Tox Eye. You know? It's hilarious.
yeah, and it was your own fault too. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it was your fault for not being tagged.
Okay. That's pretty funny. That's pretty savage. Jesus. Like you knew it was your guy, but because he wasn't tagged, you would
No,
kill him
no.
anyways?
No, we
We,
didn't know, but the thing is, you don't know everyone's
we
faults.
didn't look at names.
Yeah, that's
But
also
if it
another
was
thing.
green, we wouldn't kill you.
Hmm.
But we didn't look at names. It just
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, because I'll be in comms, I'm killing people, and they're like, "Who are you killing?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'll be like, "I have to look at the heads."
Yeah.
The
So it's like
heads.
if you're untagged on an unknown character and then you get killed and then you jump into comms and you're the one that's mad, I'm like, no, you should have been on comms and been like, hey, that's me telling the person who's killing you. But
Shit,
you want to keep a secret character, so well, there you go. Now, and then you have no right to be mad at that point.
shit. You know, if you got all through a hissy fit because you got mad because yeah, like that was grounds for getting kicked.
That's fair. I mean, like, yeah, like, trying to keep it drama free, like, you're not tagged, it's kind of your fault. That makes sense. Um,
Yeah, but if you simply came on of like, "Hey, I was blah blah blah. You just killed me. Can I get my stuff back?" All right. meet me at blah 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 location. Yeah.
Yeah, the key thing was drama free. That's why one of the reasons for no allies or anything like that. No drama.
Yeah,
Don't-
allies always bring drama.
Always.
Yeah, because what happens when you ally people is maybe at first it's like the honeymoon phase and everything's good and you're all kumbaya, but eventually it comes to a point where you're getting dragged in these politics and these wars that literally have nothing to do with you whatsoever. And it's because one of their members went to like the far west and like fucked with some guy, and now it's like, now it just becomes your problem, and you're just like, now you have to like move across the whole map to go fight this war. It's just, I understand where you guys are coming from with no allies, because it does get really annoying, and especially when there's like really high expectations, like maybe like the terms weren't very clear at the beginning, but like, yeah, well, ally will defend each other, and it's like you're literally getting called every single day to come like do stuff that you don't want to do or whatever, or fight people you don't really like, or who are not worth your time or something. You know what I mean? Like, so
Whatever we had to keep, it was only supposed to be a boulder factory. No one was supposed to live there.
I think someone's confused in the chat. We did not give loot back to randoms. We only gave loot back if we accidentally killed one of our own guys. We never gave loot back to
I actually
people
never looted.
outside the clan.
I never looted. I didn't care what they were carrying.
I used to just massively delete so much loot. I used to dry loot people and delete everything. I hated when Star Vault made it difficult to delete stuff, that you would drag it out of your inventory and nothing would happen.
well, they have like kind of a fucked up system now, because like when you kill somebody and you loot their shit, it's considered a stolen item. And one, you could easily get overweight, especially if you're a mage, right, who has low carry weight anyways. But like you can't even put it in like your horse bags or anything. You're literally just like standing there with like, I feel like you killed a miner, you're like literally standing there with like 3 stacks of like calcs, and like you literally can't do anything. You literally have to sit there and wait the 2 minutes. It's absolutely the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
Wait, you can't even move it to your mount?
No, you can't put it on your horseback. You can't do anything.
it's stolen.
You can't delete it. You couldn't even get rid of it if you wanted to.
Yeah, it was better in the old days. You loot someone and you could dry loot, delete everything in under 10 seconds. A whole inventory, you just drag and drop real fast. You're just deleting their whole bag.
Just deleting their whole bag just to delete their whole bag. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want to leave it.
I used to delete everything, even if they had a torch on them. I used to delete it all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, as a new person, that was one of the most confusing things because I thought I would go back and find like my body, at least in my head, but like it was gone. It was like I was lost when I was brand new to the game. I was like, I just got killed here. I'm like, where's my loot bag? I didn't
Yeah,
realize people do that stuff. So I was the most confused person ever.
Consequences is why most people play full loot games. Like I would, if it wouldn't be able to happen to me, I wouldn't play the game. It goes both ways. I mean, I like being able to do it to other people. I also like that they can dry loot me, take all my shit, blow everything up.
For those in chat, I know we're kind of talking about the past a lot. There is one more question about MO1 I want to ask, and then we'll kind of focus on like present day and then the future. But I know a lot of people want to know about like the RPK split and stuff like that. So if you guys could talk about that and like
Which one?
what led up to it, like
The Civil War.
yeah,
So
the one where you
okay.
guys attacked your own keep, or they attacked your keep, or what, however the fuck that went down. Like maybe a little bit before that,
Yeah, we'll
when
have
it
to talk
happened, and then
about that
after.
before that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
summarize that quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Pyre and fucking whatever Dread failed to siege RPK, it was agreed that the only people that can destroy RPK is its own guild. So that keep the people in the guild are the only people that can destroy it, and so that came into fruition. There you go. So
All right. Oh, so the thing is,
That was
Af-
almost all destroyed
well,
before all that.
th-
they got rebuilt.
there was the ID elimination war that happened, December 2015 to April 2016. April 2016 introduced the Arouse patch, which, went overboard on stuff. But then
Yeah,
pretty much there was nothing to do in the game. Majority of us were not playing. We had Icarus in the GK keep spot, because we felt a neutral party was best for the game, and also, we didn't want all these keep spots. A lot of the keeps we destroyed, people had moved into, you know? Um,
Like
then
people you were good with, or just randoms?
randoms,
Okay.
a lot of them were like, you know, yeah, randoms. I don't even remember their names. Not all the spots, but a good amount of spots got moved into. But then we fast forward to July 2016. Icarus gives the keep to Killox.
Yeah.
Strillin was furious. He hired us, probably hired other people, uh, and any of his allies. Strillin was the leader of Doom at the time. He sieged the GK keep spot, um, and 43 of us showed up. He hired 43 RPK, and then 5 week DDoS happened. And like RPK and most other clans in the game, all quit because Star Vault was pretty much silent. You know, no free game time, nothing. It's just so there was a lot of people pissed off at Star Vault. Because 5 weeks the game was bleh. Um, and 99% of RPK quit the game, and most never returned. You know, to Mortal. Played other games with them after the fact, and you'll see some uh, old names in MO2 if they're using the same names of MO1. Um, so there was probably less than 5 people in RPK playing. Allie asked me if she could have the guild stone, and I
At this
said,
time, though, he was about to hand it to me, and I was going to siege it from the
"No, no,
inside.
that's after."
That's
Ultron.
after. Oh God, it was so.
Yeah,
It's
so
like at the midnight hour, it gets stopped.
yeah, I'll get to
That's
that.
2017, right? When I asked
No,
everyone to meet
I'm
together.
I'm not sure it could have been in 2017. I'm not sure.
So
All I know,
2017 was like the first, all like it almost happened in 2017, and then I asked all the originals, "Hey guys, let's meet." I was in a Starbucks that day, talking with you guys. I remember that, and that kept it going, and then 19 everything blew up.
basically what happened with Allie, I said, "Sure, I don't give a fuck. I'm never gonna play this game again." Gave her the guild stone. I even gave her my account info. That's how much I believed I was never gonna play Mortal Online ever again.
Hmm.
Um, and because I quit, every single one of my officers quit. So um, Allie then, which was a smart move, she absorbed a whole bunch of clans that because across the whole game, clans fell apart and they had remnants. So she absorbed all of them to get a player base again, which was a very smart move by what she wanted. Because I didn't know at the time, you know, she's more like an empire builder, and that's during her administration. That's when it became a empire guild. But it might have been early 2017. I forget. I forget when the dates. I just know that some of us returned, and I was playing with RPK for a month before I opened my mouth. I was just observing all the changes, and then I expressed all my criticisms because this wasn't the guild I built. It was an empire guild now, because we didn't even live at the keep. We used to call it Cancer City. We just used it for boulders. It had the fortifications, and that's it. So, um, core members, we discussed internally about what to do, and the plan was me and Coolshawn were going to destroy all the assets from within to save the clan because we wanted to unburden um, unburden the people that were playing of these assets because we didn't feel it was healthy.
But you knew they wouldn't want that, or did you
I
think that they did?
I thought they would, but uh, right when I had the keep transfer sign um in the window, I'm
I was
about
only thinking what was best for RPK.
I'm moving my mouse over to the accept button because it would have transferred the keep and then all the assets would have decayed, you
Mhm.
know, because the guildstone would have been lifted. Um, right when I'm about to do it, I tell Cool Shop, my phone's ringing and I see it's Allie. I guess someone, I don't know who, still don't know who, someone I guess told Allie what we were intending to do. She calls my phone and she convinces me to not do it. And I spoke to her and I'm like, all this stuff isn't stressing you out, all these assets. And she convinced me that she found the empire building and all this stuff fun. So, you know, I didn't destroy all the assets. Because it changed into a I thought I was doing them a favor of fixing it to make it, not an empire guild to bring it back to the roots. Because, we're talking about all these changes happened in probably what, within 9 months or something.
Okay, yeah. This is 2017. Okay, you're gonna hear the first time ever I was talking to Ali. First
Oh,
time
you're the
ever.
one who told her?
Yeah, because I didn't want the guild falling apart because we were so much fun. Because I wasn't playing, but I was like, I come back in. It's like I love being able to jump in, play with everyone that we had all this awesome time with, and I'm like, yo, the guild's falling apart. This is stupid. Like we just finished getting rid of the retards that got recruited that were merged from Hurge, freaking Al Banjo and his brother and some other stupid people. Like they just finished getting out, so I'm like, I'm trying to thin like the losers that shouldn't be here, and then just maintain what we had prior before that. So that's what kind of kept it. But then the merging and all this other stuff continued afterwards, and then it was all downhill from there. Like I sent that message, and then I guess she must have called you right away or whatever.
Yeah, she called my cell phone.
Yeah. So
But the thing
that
is, if
that
she
was me
was
to keep everyone together. That because I didn't want the guild to fall apart. That was me.
if the phone call happened 1 second later, it would have been transferred. It would have been too late.
Yeah. So
Keep
that yeah
sign
that
was
yeah.
in the window, the trade window, and I was moving my mouse over to hit accept, and my phone rings.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
That
no,
might that might have actually ended up being better than what I think actually happened. But you'll have to tell us what happened after that, I guess.
well,
Uh,
this was 2017. This was 2017.
yeah,
This story is 2017.
I know that. Um, and I think then at that point I chose to because I didn't want to be part of an Empire Guild. Um, I chose to leave and I joined INQ, which was led by Askir. Had a lot of fun there, uh, out in the West. Some other people were playing with me, like Terrarax and Green Arrow, Little Pony, and so we were all in INQ. Had
I
a lot of
remained
fun.
loyal to RPK.
Yeah, yeah. Coolshot has never left the Guildstone.
Mhm.
Uh, then was having massive fun in INQ, and then you just wake up one day and the whole Palisade's gone. I don't know. Ask her, I guess, what. I think there was some internal drama
Didn't
I
he go
wasn't aware
crazy?
of because I was just doing PvP. Ask her decon the whole Palisade and went to Dread. So, and then I think I stopped playing again for a little bit. Yeah, and then I think it was after Albion. Um, after Albion turned into a crap game, um, Allie convinced me to come play again.
Yeah. So leading up to the Civil War, I remember that fall because what was happening because I wasn't playing because there wasn't really a reason for me to do it, but I was always in Discord and I was always typing crap, and so there was reports of me causing drama or whatever. And because I'm not an active member, they started to like demote me from officer. I went to regular member. then I went to the point where I was basically a new recruit in the Discord, and I was like, "What the shit is this?" They were actually trying to convince Aku to tell Aku to kick me out of the guild entirely because I'm not doing anything for the guild or anything like that. So
It was
this
Orn.
was
Orn wanted you gone.
yeah, well, come on, dude. Focus, a bunch of other retards, and I'm pretty sure. As nice as Sock may be when you talk to him, he's the one that emphasizes if you're not doing anything, you shouldn't have a say. But like, I would always go in there and I would say stuff. So he was always angry at people who aren't necessarily quote unquote playing or that he doesn't see playing, and then he would say, "Oh, we shouldn't they shouldn't dictate the direction of the guild." And that's where people like like that mentality created allegiances to certain officers within the guild, and it came to the point where I really almost got kicked out of RPK. It was hilarious. But then by the end, when the Civil War started and all that, Ku got to see who was with the crew and who wasn't,
Yeah.
who
So
was loyal to who.
we're gonna fast forward to winter of 2018, and it was pretty much Ali was inactive, and she was just her and some other people were hardcore playing this other MMO, and there was um, no leadership because Ali was in charge, and there was just like a lack of leadership. And I was telling Ali, other people were telling Ali of you know, if you're not coming back, there needs to be a new leader because people need someone in charge. And people that went to Ali's side in the Civil War were people that were actually on comm speaking mutinous um, thoughts when Ali was inactive. And um, I even told Ali,
Yeah, but
if
that
you want it
time,
to be still Empire, give it to Orn. I even suggested Orn if she wanted it to stay in Empire Guild. But I'm like, if you wanted to go back to the old ways, you give it back to me and I'll run it. Ali procrastinated on making a decision for months, and things weren't looking good for the guild internally. There was a massive amount of drama internally because of lack of leadership present. And she just goes, "Hey, Aku, you want the rank 10 of the Guildstone?" And I go, "Sure." And then like 2 minutes later, I was rank 10. She logged on Ali's account, uh, gave me the rank 10. I think this was like January 2019 or maybe end of December of 2018, something like that. Ali was pissed off about that, but after a week, um, she wasn't mad anymore, and she said that she was gonna give it to me anyway, but it was she just wanted more time. But things were things were urgent. I'm sure if things weren't urgent, she wouldn't have suggested, you know, that. And the funniest shit, it was just so casual. Hey, Aku, do you want rank 10 again? And I'm like, sure. But I promised people I would change the clan slowly, so it'll be a transition period. And I did some compromises. I knew there was a lot of empire builders, so I said no more TC outside the northeastern quadrant of the game. You know, because there was TC everywhere. You know,
no,
all the way into Serduka. This shit was nuts. How many keeps we had?
yeah,
I
no,
lost.
it became like an abomination. It was like I said in the beginning. It was supposed to be a boulder factory, and everybody's building their houses there. I was pissed that people were living there. Like when what's his name came in, sorry, Griffin, Lashaniqua.
Oh yeah, Lashwaniqua was
I
the fucking
loved it when he came
best.
in.
I love Lashwaniqua.
If he would have talked to me, I would have gave him boulders and mangs to blow that fucking shit up.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
Yeah,
He was saying
so
this is his
And
favorite
yeah,
part of
that was the
history.
best part. We were saying we got to get rid of them. I said keep them, let them stay there. They're so weak. It disgusted me.
Yeah, the people that merged in, the people that joined, After like we began to lose people that were actually valuable uh, to RPK for the people that wanted to play Minecraft in Mortal Online or something. And it just progressively got worse and worse. It was making people soft. They weren't used to being they weren't being used to watching their back in the game anymore, or like randomly getting killed, or just like you go AFK for 5 minutes and you get murdered. Like that's part of the excitement of the game, and like you set yourself up so that doesn't happen to you. But they just became super comfortable. The guys in the guild at that point, they weren't hardened like the original players, and then because they weren't hardened, they never learned how to fight. They never learned how to be grief proof. All the originals, like nobody wanted to play anymore. So we lost our core fighters and the people that got like were in the glory days of RPK, to the point where I'm like, man, we got scraps from all these useless guilds that we blew up, and like, what the heck's going on? And they're complaining that somebody's griefing them. I thought it was funny when I watched the videos. All I care is that I wasn't in any of the videos because I went AFK a few times. I got comfortable, and I'm like, hey, as long as I'm not in the videos, I'm good.
I
So
never
and
went
I'll
to the
laugh at
keep
everyone else.
Here's the thing.
unless I was picking up boulders. That's the only time I went to the keep.
Here's the thing. The Civil War happened maybe 9 months or so after Sheet gave me back the Guildstone. Um, people, the mistake I made was um, believing that the people that Ali recruited over the past 3 years would want to trim down the empire building. They're all empire builders, and I thought that doing a compromise, like limited to the Northeast Quadrant, and also I know people like Orn were upset with me because of he preferred Ali's leadership. He was very vocal about that he hated me as leader because I have a dictatorship style. But I guess so Orn had, I guess, more of a say maybe with Ali. I don't know. Um, I guess the majority of the people did not like that I was I was trying to change the guild back to when things were under my control.
When
And
they're pissed
I
at
thought
me.
I was doing it slowly so people could get adjusted, but apparently I was doing it too fast. People, I guess they just hated it.
Remember when I deconned all that stuff in demons? Oh my god, they were pissed.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
oh, but
it's
I
not
want to.
yours. The decon cool shot. I remember that. That was funny.
Yeah, so yeah, um, there was a lot of incidents that pretty much, I guess, boiled over that caused them plot the Civil War, to try to siege it from the inside.
Yeah,
One was
the final
Lasha.
trigger. The final trigger was what, something to do with a house or something. Whatever his name's house, or a wall, or
Oh,
whatever. Queen was complaining about something.
uh, we had on the southern side, kind of courtyard of houses, um, and uh, I think I'm not sure. I forget who was starting drama with Queen,
They want,
and
yeah, they wanted to make it
because they
safe
didn't
from
like they
griefing
didn't they wanted to Ali wanted to buy the house off of Queen,
to
because
build
of
the wall. To build the
yeah,
wall to
because they
prevent
wanted to
griefing.
build walls to prevent griefing from La Shaniqua.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was like, fuck
Or
that.
wanted to keep to be griefer free. I did not want to keep griefer free. I was telling La Shaniqua privately what was being said on RPK comms, like the Orn rage chat and shit like that. I was telling La Shaniqua when La Shaniqua killed Orn and banished him over and over to put him in full stat loss, 10 in every stat. And oh my god, when Pops was screaming because Lashaniqua killed him as well, and full tongue, and Lashaniqua and his buddies were killing so many people. It was fucking awesome.
At that time,
And it kept
they were
motivating Lashaniqua because I was telling him
no, but
everything that was being
Lachlaniko
said.
was being more RPK than RPK was being. That
Yeah,
was us.
I
We're
saw it as
never supposed to be this empire shit.
internal training, you know? You know, because RPK we were never meant to be an Empire guild. We were a fucking griefer guild. Griefers don't get griefed. So and Lashuniqua was griefing the fuck out of them. They needed to get hardened, you know?
So, and then this led up to the Civil War, I guess.
Well, there was
Yeah,
a
the house stuff. That was like the final straw. It was something about a wall in
yeah,
front of
so
Molo's door or something.
yeah, but also they were pissed off when Coolshan deconned the demon portal being blocked off. There was such rage about that. They were like, "If you didn't pay for it, you can't decon it," and stuff like that. It's like, Jesus Christ! They just wanted to block in all the content. We were, you know, because they wanted to block on the content for wealth.
Mhm.
When we got the keep back in you know, years prior when we took it from Force from ID Alliance, um, we did some trolling with walls, like blocked off MK Pass and put a fucking 100 gold fee on it and blocked off Toxi and stuff like that. But we did that as trolls, as jokes, you know. We didn't expect it would take so long for them to get sieged down.
Oh, and we did it with
They
beat
did
drums. We didn't pay for it.
people waited to siege it down after SV changed the rules so that you couldn't build within those city limits of MK and Toxi. Yet it was okay to build in city limits of Vada, Moki, and in other areas. I told Star Vault they should have done it blanket to all towns because you know I'm a griefer. I know it was grief. I know it's not good for the game, but it was also hilarious. So it's allowed in the rules. It's kind of hard to not do it. Oh, but back to the housing situation, it was um um yeah, against orders because they weren't supposed to make the keep griefer free to redesign it. Um they were deconning walls. It came on they had decon walls and they built a wall over Molo's house, blocking his fucking door to his house. It was just
I think it was the siege on Queen's house. Which pretty much
Yeah, it was something like I remember we got messages to log in Civil War or something, and then I think Focus was trying to calm it down, and then Aku told Mo you can kill people, and Mo went and hunted Focus, and then all of a sudden Focus switched sides.
well because the
Said
thing
fuck it.
is when they disobeyed orders on comms to stop what they're doing, whatever, I knew instantly. My instincts was like, it's a fucking mutiny, you know. So,
Yep.
yeah, everything went in the shitter from there. But oh, and the thing about Queen's house is, I had negotiated, uh, for Queen. She was gonna sell the house to Allie, but then I forgot someone fucking cursed her out or whatever, so she didn't do it, or someone did something, and I remember I think it was Sock trying to enforce eminent domain laws
Yeah, I
on the
remember that.
keep.
Yeah.
Someone said in chat, what started it was Queen building multiple houses inside the keep.
She built 2 houses.
they all built houses. It was fucking
The whole southern side of
Dramaville.
the keep
Fucking horrible.
was not secure from griefers. That was the huge complaint because of La Shuniqua. La Shuniqua every day griefing, and people were upset about that. I found it hilarious
And it
that
turns out it was the best thing that ever happened.
and I told La Shuniqua to never stop, come every fucking day because this is just it was awesome. Um,
So hold on, I got a question for Kolshan here. So Kolshan, when you woke up in the morning and found out the Civil War started, so how many hours did you play the game straight without sleeping, and what were you
The
doing in
first
those
time
hours?
I was decon 17 straight hours. I was destroying everything.
that
I've
was in one
destroyed
day.
more RPK stuff than any other guild combined.
I was quad boxing deconners. I asked other guilds to come help be tagged up to help decon.
You wouldn't
And
believe how much
people were
shit they
doing it.
built.
I was ranking people to 6 so they can help decon shit. It
Had
took us
cities
2 weeks every day, like 12 plus hours a day.
and
We found
cities
cities in the mountains.
in the
It was just
mountains
like it was
never knew about.
absurd. I never even knew this shit existed. I'm like, "Holy fuck." And this was just under the RPK Guildstone. I can't believe there was so much assets.
Yeah, it was sad to see what it became. But then it was all gone, and the keep finally fucking went down. Thank God.
Wait, was there an actual fight though, or did we skip
The
that part?
Oh yeah,
there was sieging
it's actually like more death knights
hundreds
than
pretty
people.
much, the initial Civil War siege, it was 5 of us versus 40 people, plus probably like 20 Pokemons or more for 12 hours.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
it was really long, and then they didn't manage to take it down. They had to recoup. I think they're because when you started kicking people, I think they actually had boulders stored on
They
characters,
did.
and then they didn't have a bank to pull it out from. That was the problem.
Yeah, they had, yeah, that's why they had to there was so much sieging of just ninja sieges and just sieging nonstop. I think hundreds of megs must have been used over the 30 days of sieging. And that it turned into a palisade outside the keep. And someone was joking of like, look, we got an ion cannon. You hit all guards or whatever, the fucking
Yeah,
macro, and
yeah,
someone just explodes. Shit was fucking guards were killing guards. It was just hilarious, just
yeah.
passively throughout the
except
day.
death knights. Death knights would kill everything. They're
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
so
freaking. This is where
overpowered.
you wanted NPC guards and pets. That's what sieges became, and you just stand there and you point. If they didn't blow up the keep when it did, when they did, the entire plateau would have been covered with guard houses and guards. It was stupid. I had a plan for the next 2 days to build it all up, and just to show how cancer the freaking system is. It's so stupid, and then they happened to blow it up at that time, so they got lucky. If they left it for 2 days, if they didn't keep pushing, it would have been
well, they were
a
trying for
really
like 30
shitty thing.
days,
Yeah, it was
from
nonstop.
morning to night. It was just nonstop for 30 days.
And then
And
with their
it got.
palisade,
I woke up one day and the keep was blown up. You know.
But didn't you
oh,
want to keep blown up? I'm confused.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but you're not
but
gonna just
you
give it
don't
to
just
them.
let them blow it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you were gonna blow it up yourself at
No,
first,
I
so I was
hated it,
confused.
but it's like someone else is gonna fuck them. They gotta earn it.
So if they had actually lost, didn't siege the keep, you were probably gonna destroy it
If
yourself
they would
anyways.
they would have just negotiated and say, "Hey, we want the TC. You guys go back to Donkey Store." We probably would just give them the TC.
Yeah, but the thing is, they had to be traitors. And the thing is, it's not just because we had different views, it's not like we were not friends.
Yeah, I
Fuck,
don't
we
hate
were
any of them.
playing. Yeah, it's like, you know, all of us fucking were playing fucking Dungeons and Dragons, including Orn, like every goddamn week and shit like that. We were all friends with each other. And they wanted to be, traitors. You know,
I
they
still
they
don't hate them. I mean, it's just a game.
they could have went about it the right way and be like, Aku, it's not really working out. You know, you can go back to like donkey storage, and you can, we'll put a different gillstone in the keep. You know, that could have been done.
Yeah, because they could have captured the TC.
How much gold do you think was spent on them trying to siege down their own keep?
Fucking, because they built a palisade, they had about all those guards, probably over. I think, probably more was spent sieging down that keep than probably anything in the game. Because um, yeah, probably more was spent doing that than it took us to blow up over 50 palisades and 10 keeps of the ID Alliance. This shit was just nuts, the amount of resources they were, you know,
Yeah,
spending in that.
the problem is at this point,
What
It's
does
just
it matter anyway?
everyone was so wealthy. It was more about the
Yeah,
logistics and
yeah. The game had like 100 people playing. The game was on its way out, so what does it really matter? That they spent so much.
Okay.
It's not like they got to do shit with it afterwards. Oh well, you just maintaining shit on a 20-player game. That was also the other thing I didn't get. Wanting to do this whole empire building stuff when the population is so low, you know. But it could just be just a different viewpoints.
Yeah, like because I mean, it wasn't you exactly. Besides, like the MK Pass or whatever that was like blocking off the content. It was the Empire builders like within RPK is what you're saying that ended up blocking off a lot of the content, like Demon Portal or whatever.
Demon Portal, Kamuru, Greater Net, Tefra Crater.
So
Oh,
you never like issued those orders. That was like when you were like away or
no,
out of leadership.
that was the Alley administration.
yeah,
Under
yeah, like
under my administration, MK and Toxai, we did that as that was a troll.
Yeah, but that was just a gate.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. The thing is, it was like it was just a wooden gate on the Death Star that the MK pass,
Mm-hmm.
and a forum thread started.
I personally hated that gate because
Yeah,
I, I kept falling in the water
yeah. But
to
but
the
the thing is,
wall.
a forum thread started crying about a fucking wooden gate with a 100 gold fee on it, and because there were so many people crying about that, we were like, all right, let's fucking make it stone.
Wait a second, wasn't
Let's block
Eladriel
the
that built it there?
Eladriel did it, yes.
Yeah, Eladriel. There
Eladriel
we
the
go.
Creeper, who has pictures of like
Everyone's real life
everyone,
picture
yeah, and
on
their
his
wife and
computer.
kids.
It's
Wait,
weird.
what?
No, it's a guy that he joined RPK a while ago, and he had a little bit of a falling out, but he put that up there. I remember the day he was going to do it. He was just laughing his ass off on comms, but
Yeah,
building the
wasn't he?
gate at Death Star.
He was
Yeah, so
rage, right?
he was the leader of Rage, yes.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
but Eladriel did it without permission, but I wasn't mad at him because it caused such tears on the forums. So because it caused so much outcry, then we made it stone, and I personally put the gate on the MK scaffold, and I think the Toxi ramp myself. That's also another thing is the fortifications for the keep itself, because we weren't living in it. We were still living at extraction and donkey storage when we had the keep. Uh, Ali had everyone move to the keep. Um, so yeah, all those walls and everything, those were all from D drops. Also, the Great Wall of RPK. I had how like that keep spot had like this like indented, like kind of like a moat sorta. That whole giant outer wall that it had, I was just doing that, because it was hilarious, and it was also all free deeds we had from the ID alliance.
It's when you siege, there's a chance you drop the deed.
Yeah, there was a 50% chance.
Hmm. Okay.
So from all the sieging, we had so many fucking deeds. But it was just like, might as well use them, for fortifications.
Gotcha. Oh, Vendevius is here. He's hosting me now. Thank you,
Oh,
Vendevius.
he's
Welcome,
hosting.
man. Yeah. For those who don't know, Vendevius is a MO2 streamer who's in RPK. He played MO1 too with them as well.
He didn't play MO1 much.
Oh, he didn't?
No, but Van Devious was my clan leader in Tabula Rasa and Adra Conan.
Wait, I thought he said Wait, was he in KOV with you guys or something then?
No, he was
I
in
swear.
RPK, but he played like MO1 for like maybe a month or whatever. He saw that MO1 didn't have cheat detection back then. He saw like how like, well, this is pretty bad. The game doesn't have cheat detection. I'm not playing this.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, it was
Yeah, the cheat detection is a GM watching you for a year and a half while you're logged in killing noobs.
Yeah, so Vandivius was the leader of Templum Assassinorum. That was in Tabula Rasa. Remember the Richard Garriott MMO? That was a really fun MMO until NCSoft closed it down with the lawsuit. Then there was Age of Conan, um, and then the Templum Assassinorum guys. They played a little bit at the launch of Fallen Earth, but they all quit except for me and Callium.
Okay. So we talked a bit about the RPK history from MO1. So I have some questions that are more focused on like the present and like and going into MO2. Um, so how many? I mean, first of all, like how many active players do you think you're going into launch with for MO2? Like just a guesstimation.
I'm not going to divulge those numbers, but
Oh, okay.
what we have in beta right now is a fraction of what's going to be for launch. A lot of
Okay.
old RPK will be returning for MO2, and plus more people that have not played Mortal 1.
Yeah, like I'm not playing beta right now. I'm waiting for a launch. I don't want to, I want the excitement of like a new game or whatever once it launches. I don't want to be like, oh, plan it all ahead and be one of those weirdos that has no lives, like someone on here named Master Cookie. But anyways,
Yeah,
but yeah, so I'm waiting.
I'll be playing the beta next week when I'm back home, because I really
Okay.
haven't gamed really the past 6 months, because I haven't been around, on vacation.
All right, and I mean, this is maybe more of an obvious question. Like, what's your political stance? Like, I'm guessing just off the name, like RPK, kill everybody. Um,
Oh, I thought you were
you
gonna be like Trump or Biden.
no. So I mean, you said yourself you're a griefing guild. Do you draw the line anywhere, or like? I mean, like, are you trying to like? Is your goals like to like, grief people out of the town you live in, or is it more just from like a fun perspective?
Our
Like,
rules are this: no
mhm.
cheating, no killing clan members, no trade ganking, and no dual tagging. If you're not breaking those rules, it's all good.
Yeah, no one has to like kill everybody. But no one's restricted from not killing.
Yeah, like if you see your friend or something, like for example, I did a lot of business with Icarus, but I would find him in the middle of transports, but I wouldn't kill him because he's my business partner. He was making me wealthy in the game, so he had the liberty of not being killed when I see him.
Well,
Uh,
I still would chase after Icarus to try to kill him. I did business with him nonstop, and I did the Merc contract to blow up Icarport as well.
and water screwed up the conspiracy on that one.
Oh
And
my God, we had it. No one knew that we did it. There was no proof because we got everything inside and did it from inside because I was in there griefing. I forgot if the gates opened up and I ran inside, and I was having people mail me weapons from outside to inside so I can dual strike the portal blockers to death. I destroyed all the portal blockers, and I was farming his keep NPCs. I drained 15,000 prominence. I vampired it from his stone to the RPK stone. And then he I think when all the portal blockers are down, I think two more people joined me inside, and then Icarus paid us off each stuff that we wanted, materials to leave, but he had no idea that literally the next day we already had everything prepped inside, logged out in his courtyard to siege him the next day.
yeah,
And
so
the
yes,
the 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 employer, still to this day does not want his or her name released. I
Yeah.
So
asked the
you,
person. I asked the person recently, but no,
so
still
you,
they were
wait,
kind of
so you
weird
took that
anonymous.
payment from Icarus to not kill his stuff, and then
No, no, no. Took a payment to leave his palisade,
that for
which I
that
did.
day, or
Which
what
I
do you
did.
mean?
I was fully geared, like in 10-piece tung steel, whatever. I was griefing his palisade every day, draining prominence.
Mhm.
He wanted to stop the prominence bleed, so we did because I drained 15,000 already. He
Okay,
wanted to
and then
stop
you
that
sieged it the
prominence.
next day.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was the Merc contract was already in place. I abided by the terms. I left his palisade as agreed upon. You know,
okay. I'm just wondering if he asked you to leave that day, or if he meant like stop coming back entirely. You know what I mean?
no, he wanted me out of there because I think he was trying to kill me out of there, and he couldn't. So he offered, "Will you leave if I pay you?" I'm like, "Okay,"
But yeah, so in terms of ML2,
because
if
we
the
were
map
killing him
is
in his keep every day.
yeah, so if the map is as big as everyone says, personally, I'm planning on like roaming from city to city. We got to see if because I don't know how war decks are going to work. It's going to be all brand new to me, but it's the way I see it because I'd be doing something similar to what I was doing in ML1. I'd hang out in a certain city for a week, and I'd kill whatever, whoever, and whenever over there. Then I'd move to the next city and just I would cycle through locations because you find new targets, and then because when people get wise if you keep killing the same person over and over, so you got to cycle through. So that's kind of how I see it. If the map is as big as everyone is telling me, like because with ML1 you can I used to walk across the map and I do a whole cycle to every single city,
Well, you
and I'd be
can walk
done.
across the map, but pretty much only going to one town.
Yeah, so because ML1 it's 30 minutes on horseback if you want to get from Toxide
Ideally,
to Meduli. It's 30 minutes. In this one, I don't. Apparently, it takes hours. So we'll see how
Takes
the
like an
first
hour
one
and a
goes.
half, probably.
Yeah.
oh, and
About
Oren
that.
remembers. He said it was him and Sheet that was with me inside the Icar Pally. Sheet wanted a bunch of blue tabards, and I think if memory serves me right, Oren, did you ask Icarus for the armor he was wearing or something?
Oh, is Master Cookie Orn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let me
Oh, the
ask you
stream delay.
this. Yeah, well, there is no stream delay, but there is like always a delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta type it in chat if you want immediate response. Well, what's the question?
I was just gonna ask, like, in general, do you guys see yourselves as the bad guys, or do you think you just do bad things and there's not really like are you trying to be the bad guy? I guess is my question, or are you just playing the game you want to be played? You know what I mean? Does that make
Well,
sense?
There's no such thing as right or wrong. Only thinking makes it so.
yeah, good guy and bad guy, that's a matter of perspective.
Right. So you don't see yourselves as bad guys. You just play the game in a particular way.
Well, take a Rouse. He probably sees himself as a good guy, but
Right. Do you see
plans
yourself
like
as the good guy?
no, but yeah. Well,
Oh,
we worship the bridge gods,
I
and the
see us.
bridge gods dictate what we do.
I think we're bad people. I mean, not bad like in evil, but I think we do things to make people hate us. It's a lot more fun when everybody hates you because then they'll go after you. Like they'll drop everything and go after you. It's
Yeah, it's
fun.
a lot of fun. But
I like getting our shit destroyed. I know it sounds weird, but I really do like when I'd wake up in the morning and everything was destroyed.
we used to cheer on comms when 75 people would siege our donkey storage, and 75 people wouldn't even showed up to the latest keep siege going on at the time. You know, more people showed
Yeah.
up
Well,
for donkey sieges.
Remember we were testing out the Hailcaster on the Peeves Palisade? It's like the whole server showed up, like 21 different guilds. It was funny as hell.
Oh, and when they made Mangs movable, and you and me would drag him
No, we're
across
testing
places.
Hellcasters, see if they could take a gate, and then
Yeah, but I only did
everybody
like
and their
100
mother showed up.
damage.
All right, very briefly, someone ask them how many people they think they made quit MO1, new and vet players combined. Like, how many people do you guys think you made quit the game?
Well,
All right,
Okay,
here's
I
no,
know
Just
wait.
two. I know two specifically that told me they quit the game, and then one guy came back and told me who made him quit the game. He didn't know it was my character, and then I finished making him quit again that same day.
yeah, but if you're
So
playing
I
a
know
full
two
loot
people
game,
particularly.
a full loot PvP game, and you quit over getting killed and your stuff losing your stuff, you're gonna quit anyways.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people blame us for Steam launch, but that's not our fucking fault, man.
No, server instability was the greatest contributor to that. If you look at reviews, it wasn't like killing the griefing or whatever. It was like you're in queue because the game can't handle a
Yeah, in the
thousand
queue.
people,
We
You
and
re-
couldn't
then
get in the first few
we
days.
recruited a lot of nubs from Steam launch, and they were there killing as well. Also, you had randoms. Nubs were griefing other nubs. It was like,
like who
MO1
was
was
rewarding
griefer.
noobs killing other noobs? He was giving them stuff. It was the funniest thing ever.
A
He
lot
was
of us
just
were
he's
a
standing
lot of
there
us
like
were giving
laughing in comms. He's hysterically laughing. He's just watching noobs kill each other.
oh my god, remember when they made a random group of nubs put a whole bunch of campfires on the MK scaffolding, and they were yelling "None shall pass," and nubs were trying to run past the scaffolding, past the campfires, and because it had the hit detection, they were bouncing on top of them and then would fall off the scaffolding and go splat. That shit was hilarious.
The thing is, it's also what's funny is when they're all fighting on one side, then one of them turns gray, they all turn against each other.
Oh yeah, I do think that blues are more evil than reds because a red's gonna kill you. They're gonna attack you on sight, most likely. But a blue, you got all these militia people, "Oh, we're militia, we're fighting off the Reds, they're attacking whatever town." One of them goes grave because they accidentally hit, they all turn on them. It's like a bunch of fucking piranhas. So, yeah.
Bomex says hi, Ku, and to everybody.
Hey, Bomex, been a while.
Um, so this is my next question for you guys, and anyone's free to answer, or if you have a different answer than the first person who answers, feel free. What is something about RPK that most people don't know that you would like them to know about you guys? Maybe it could be something that would help them understand why you play the way you play, if that helps.
Well, RPK, people probably don't know, RPK got founded when me, Executioner, his MA name was Faded, not Faded, Destroy You, alternating capital letters, yeah. And Killox. Well, Killox got kicked from SOV for killing Mike, which was the leader of Sin in the Fallen Legion Alliance. Kodo threatened
Oh yeah,
Jason and Delia,
they get
they were
killed past
co-leaders
the
of
big random
SOV.
rock there.
Oh yeah, because you went past the big random rock at by Meduli. There was a rule to not kill Kodo, but me and X were doing it anyway, every day. So Kodo threatened SOV of kick the two of us or be siege. We got kicked, and so me, X, and Killox were um Killox was like, hey, let's make a guild stone, and I wanted to be named RPK. Killox and X were like, "That's gonna get sieged down so fast because of the name," and I'm like, "Let's fucking do it anyway." Um, and then that was um, yeah, and then but shortly after that, a lot of people don't know is didn't do the RPK stone anymore because who was it? IX wanted us to merge into them. Um, tried them out. I left them after a week.
That and the original RPK Stone was locked on.
Yeah, also the other thing, the original stone was locked under Killox's storage and couldn't get it because Killox got permabanned on that account. Um, yeah, nice cough.
Oh no, that was legitimate.
Uh,
Sorry.
but then what was it? Oh yeah, was running tagless for quite some time, and then there was a clan called Blackguard that
Oh, I forgot about them.
they picked up me and actually said, "Can you guys train our newbies?" We were murdering the fuck out of them in the Toxai Valley every day, and they asked us,
What was the leader's name? I liked him.
Iceman.
Was it Iceman?
Yeah, but then he got in a car wreck, and then the leadership went to Larson.
Okay,
Oh
okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So just briefly, we can't keep going
Okay.
into the history. People don't really they want to know like present day, future stuff. So just briefly, like what's something about RPK? I don't even know. I don't know if you've already said it. I'm kind of confused. I'm just trying to keep up with the history, but people want to know about present. So
That they
let's
don't know.
just yeah, like something about you guys that
Okay.
most people probably don't know.
I mean, a lot of people think people who like kill or grief. I don't consider it griefing if you're doing it in game, which the game allows you to do and it's designed to allow you to do. So I don't really see it as griefing. But we're just regular people. I mean, it's not like we live in a basement or sad lives. We
Yeah,
all have lives. A lot of us has houses and people are married. Just regular people. It's a game. People sometimes take the game too seriously. And one of our things is we don't take the game seriously. At least I don't.
Yeah,
I
because
see it as a game. I don't hate anybody involved in like the Civil War. I don't hate any of them, like Sock or Orn. I like those guys.
yeah,
There's no
so
reason to hate them. It's just a game.
yeah, it's a good point. A lot of people, like I've gotten messages from people about my shit talking in proximity voice that people think I'm gonna like find out where they live and fucking murder them in their sleep and shit. It's like um
You know what?
it's a lot of the MO community that do shit talking, you know, and they say slanderous stuff, try to spread it as fact and outside the game, you know. All my shit talk is in game. If you don't want it, fucking mute me or kill me. Because I can
um
only do it in melee range, you know?
with what you just said about the voice talk or proximity talk or whatever, and then people like spreading that. I'm sure you guys know Vicness. He actually got banned around this time last year off Twitch because like people were clipping him out of context, talking about like him like gripping them up by their necks or whatever, you know.
The other
Um,
funny thing I actually like Vic. I like his character.
yeah,
yeah, he could be in here watching, but he can't type in chat because he's banned off Twitch.
I don't think it's like totally him. I think it's like a character he portrays. It feels like I like him.
yeah.
I like the guy.
There's a separation between game and reality, and it's
Mhm.
unfortunate that some people can't make that separation, and they think what we are in game is what we are in real life. Because uh, we've met like quite a bit in our guild. We've met like Aku's hung out with some of the other guys. I go for dinner with Aku whenever I'm in the area,
Well, it was like
which is
three
like
times
once
a
a
year.
year.
Well, that was 3 times a year until
Well,
COVID.
yeah, because well, visiting more often. That's right. Yeah, like we've met each other in real life. Like it's the friendship that we have. It's extended beyond the game. But the thing is when we meet in person, we're not like we joke or whatever about the game, but like we like what Kulshan says. Like we're real people. Like the next joke is like next thing I was telling Ku was like, hey man, we need to go up to go visit Kulshan in the woods and see if he has any dead bodies buried or
Well,
something.
we know where he's not going to bury the bodies.
Yeah, it's just it's funny. It's and then because I've met someone else on the opposite side of the war that lives in the same city that I live in, and he's like, "Yeah, Arouse told me not to meet you because he's worried that you might actually kill me in real life." I'm like, we're sitting at Starbucks and start laughing. Like, are you serious? Like, what?
Oh, oh, come on. The first time
People can't make that separation. So if you
you
can
thought I
make
was
that
good. Wait,
separation, then
Hayasa, you thought I was going to drug your drink the first time
hey, I
we met.
kept my hand over my drink, Haku, because I don't know, man. Meeting a guy over the internet is still kind of creepy, but you know, you never know. Anyways, but we're friends anyways. So point is, if you can make a separation between a video game and reality, it's completely separate. It's just today it seems like that is not what people are doing. And I would say even with the school system today with my kids, they're trying to make it so that the way you are online is who you are. And I got to tell you, I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
It's
It's a game.
also the modern day cultures. It's the generation of pussies.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's that. That's your question.
Um, I mean, very briefly, again, briefly. What do you guys think that RPK is most known for, famously or infamously? And this is more or less like a specific act, whether you did it one time or multiple times, but like something specifically, like whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. Probably sounds like it might be a bad thing, but
Getting blown up on the regular.
Christmas sieges.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the Christmas morning
Yeah, we
sieges.
did
I actually
the,
remember that. Sadly, like I remember people talking about it back then.
The first one wasn't planned. We were just happened to be all online, in the evening, and you're like, "What are we gonna do? Hey, let's."
Oh, I think it was a late Christmas Eve evening, and
Yeah.
we went
that
to
was
Christmas
DA.
morning.
Yeah, that was DA Gates, and we learned about the slash stuff. But yeah, I gotta look at my videos because there's a video every single Christmas we did something. Well,
Yeah.
one year we blew up BKA or something, and then the French guy came into comms crying.
Oh
That
yeah, I
was
was
pretty
like,
funny.
who brought a fucking crying Frenchman in our comms? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But it ended up being Green Arrow, the person that we were sieging. Green Arrow gave him our comms.
Dude, it was
I don't know
funny.
why.
Green didn't know how to tell him no. He's like, okay, yeah, come in, and then it sounds like he's like, it legitimately sounds like the guy's crying that all this stuff is about to get blown up. It's funny.
So, were you guys using TeamSpeak or Discord back then?
We were using
Mumble.
one point it was Mumble. Uh, uh TeamSpeak. If we used TeamSpeak, we used to get DDoSed every
Discord
day.
was like brand new, and what's
Yeah,
We were
we
the first ones to use Discord. We used Discord when it was brand new coming out, and we had to use it because of the DDoS protection.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we had to use before that we had to use Mumble for DDoS protection because TeamSpeak it was just we couldn't use it. We literally could not use TeamSpeak because so many people would DDoS us.
My next question for you is what type of positive impact do you believe your guild brings to the game and community?
content.
Yeah, content.
People group together to go siege RPK. They live on Twitch. They'll show it. It's like a big thing for them. It gives them a reason to log in. You have that enemy you want to fight. Fucking RPK.
So, I don't know if you guys are aware. I don't know if any of you are currently playing in the beta, but so they have just introduced Vortex. They're completely consensual. There's no forced Vortex or anything. And as far as I know, there's no cost whatsoever to them currently. Um, are you guys currently accepting Vortex from people in beta, or you're waiting till launch, or where do you guys land on that? For people looking for content is why I'm asking.
A lot of us aren't completely playing,
It's only a handful of us.
and we're all just like testing stuff out, see what the hell the clades and like how far
Wait.
something is.
Yeah, because I got even asked when we were first starting to show up in the beta. I got asked. A number of people have asked, "Are we doing merc contracts?" And my response to them was, at like you know, after launch because it's fucking beta.
Yeah, since it's gonna wipe, no one wants to put like a ton of time into it.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much beta is just for testing the changes.
Yeah, can someone convince them to do a forced Vortex, at least one, please?
Yeah, people already have made threads about it and stuff. And Henrik has said like this is just like the first iteration, and it's kind of more I think to test if you like Vortex someone in town that the guards won't fucking just murder
I
you
think
and
it
you
should
lose rep
be.
and all this shit.
I think it should be forced. I
Yeah, I
also
think it should
think
be
I
forced.
also think they should be able to get out of it within like I don't know 12 hours, but it costs something to cancel a war deck.
So like a minimum 12 hours, and then after that you pay something to surrender.
Cancel it. Yeah, if you want to cancel, and then they'll like I don't know, be immune for like 3 days or whatever.
That's actually what I said a while ago. I said you should at least have one force war deck on someone because this is like the only way to currently contest towns. Like if you have your guild and then a guild you completely fucking hate living in the same town, like you can't touch each other unless you just wait for the other guy to leave town or something. You know what I mean? And then like there'd just be a cooldown. Like if like you said, if you surrendered after like X amount of time, then there's like a cooldown. I said a month, but obviously that's a pretty long time, so maybe shorter. But yeah. Um, I think the whole point of a war deck is to not be consensual. I think it's literally to determine who's the better guild at the
And
end of
town
the day.
fights are really fun.
Yeah, war decks had to be the funnest of all the fights, fighting the blue towns and stuff like that. It was just it was so much fun.
I also think war decks got us blown up.
Yeah, I was gonna
Probably
say
the
I think
number one reason we got sieged. We would go to a town, see which clan saw in X town had the most people on, ward them, and then we would get blown up when we were asleep.
I was gonna say I think Wardex probably created the most salt of any type of like PvP style, maybe even more than sieges, because getting Wardeck and then getting ganked at the bank when you think you're safe is just like it's gonna piss you off, you know? Like you're like, fuck, I can't even AFK in the town for like 5 seconds, I'm getting murdered.
Well, AFK means a free kill.
Yeah. I remember that's how some of the people reacted in Deus when we were in Moki. It's like, well, we're not even fucking safe in town. Like, what do we do? And I think that's why they ended up building the Palisade and ID lands or whatever. Because like, I think it was between you guys and maybe like NWO or something. Like someone else was war decking us too at the time, and it was just getting out of hand because we had like a bunch of PVE like crafting like noobs basically, and it was like we're getting attacked simply because we were allied with ID, and it was causing all this drama. So I think we were starting to make plans to build this palisade, and then when I left, they ended up building the palisade, and then I guess
The
it
only
got
war
like
deck I kind of
sieged.
didn't want to do, but it had to be done, was Wreck. Wreck would show up every day and fight us at Donkey Storage.
Oh, you're talking about sieging.
Yeah, it was
Oh yeah,
great fun.
because
And they joined the ID Alliance. Next thing you know, they're sieging our thing.
yeah, so we had to
to come back.
siege the shit out of them. Yeah, because we have a policy of anyone that sieged us, we are gonna do 10 times the damages back to you. It might not be immediately, we might get revenge years later, but revenge will be done.
It's the Book of Grudges.
Yeah, like from Dwarves of Warhammer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Warhammer, the
basically, yeah.
dwarfs.
So
You get
Wreck
that's who you guys are. You guys live in the mountains, live in Donkey Storage Valley, like the Book of Grudges, man.
So you had Wreck was giving us PvP every day. They used to come to Donkey Storage. It was so much fun. And then they had a side with ID and Siege Donkey Storage. So, we
Although
got a Siege now.
they might have been
Uh,
forced into the Alliance.
Yeah, allegedly they were given an ultimatum, like, "Hey, you're right next to our territory. You either join us or we'll siege you."
Yeah, well,
You guys got
they could have had
some
some
fans in
balls.
chat. Oh, Bomex was actually asking how to join RPK. I think he actually wants to join you guys. I'm not sure for
Oh, I thought he was
how
going
long
to.
or not, but
I thought he was
Well,
going
we'll
to
see.
ES.
We'll see with the Spanish guys. He could just be trolling, but he enjoyed his time in RPK. He was a reliable person to play with and fight with.
Yeah,
well, if someone did
I
want to
loved
join you guys
Bomex.
in general, how do they do it? I guess is more of the
Contact
question.
all recruitment goes through Hayasa.
Okay.
I guess if you could do your Twitch stuff, Hayasa's Discord ID number.
I'll do it. I'll post it.
Yeah, just post it in the chat. Yeah. I'd have to like show chats and stuff to.
Okay.
It's really if you mesh well with the rest of the group.
Yeah, you gotta integrate into the clan. You have to worship the bridge gods. People don't know, but we're technically in MO1 the largest roleplay clan.
Well,
So
Essex, I'd say.
you said earlier that blue players were like the worst kind of player because their intentions were just kind of like unknown and
They're
they may end
treacherous.
up backstabbing you or whatever. How do you feel about anti-RPK guilds in general?
If an anti-RPK clan
Well, there's a kind
actually
of the same thing.
does true to the ideals of it, uh, they're good. They're good for the game.
Yeah, but they're kind of RPK, right? They have their own kill on sight list.
No, that's
Well,
it. If
that's
they're
not random though.
yeah, if you're only against like back in the Ultima Online days, you know, you had the real anti-RPK clan, it was anti-PK, RPK is a term for mortal. It was just blues versus reds. Blues fought the reds, and that's what they did. I think in Mortal they kind of warped that into a lot of gray area, but with one character slot each, that might not be an issue now. It might
Yeah.
be easier for anti-RPK clans
Well,
to
I don't think is there
flourish.
any really true anti RPK? Like ID wasn't anti RPK.
No, they were not. They were
No, well,
political guild.
they claim to be anti-RPK, but I was on a fresh character just walking through, going to Mornker, and I got killed by ID, and I messaged the guy, and he's like, "Oh, you must be RPK because you're in this territory." I'm like, "I'm a brand new character. You don't know who I am yet."
We used to.
So
I used to be on alts, like be like my craft, my extractor or whatever, and see Nubs and Toxi crying about they got killed by ID, and they were claimed to be RPK, but they were actually real newbies. It was hilarious because if you were an unknown, ID would kill you. They assumed if you were in the Toxi Valley that you were RPK, and but they were whacking newbies.
yeah, so the label of anti-RPK and RPK, I don't really. It's more of like if you, I see it more as like they want to role play a non-murderous guild, but then once they get the taste for blood, they all create secret characters and murder people. Like I know quite a few people in ARPK guilds that will not touch you and be nice to you on their main account, and then later they secretly talk to me. Hey, how do I do this? How do I kill that? Oh, how do like I'm in the Tindrum sewers and I just killed like 3 people. Oh my god, it's so exciting because I made friends with a lot of people that never did this stuff, and then I started teaching them how to do it, telling them how to do it. I told them how to farm the Tefra up in GK and not get murdered, and all these little tricks I would do. I began teaching, and then I get PMs from people. Oh, it's actually this person. I'm on a fake character that nobody knows. So, like when you start doing it, it's just like it's a taste. And the way I look at it, I'm like, you know what? It's either you're role playing a peaceful person, or you're role playing a person that just does whatever at random, or you're role playing a murderer. It's one or the other.
I've always done it of like I remember when it was the solo red in Meduli. I used to like make friends with people in town, and oh, I'm gonna go do this or whatever. So I'll give them enough time to farm enough, and then I'll come with Zva and murder them and take all their shit. I would bank it in my storage. Then I would log back in my blue, and they'll be in town of like, oh, I fucking hate Zva. He just killed me. I'm like, yeah, he got me like 2 hours ago, whatever. I fucking hate that guy. But they had no idea. Blues do the shit with the anti RPK clans, like Hayasa said. People do that shit all the time. When I was in AI, they didn't know about my red. You know,
Yeah. Vanevia says HJ is the only anti RPK that I know of. Wardens is also anti RPK. I don't know if any other guild is claiming to be anti RPK right now.
if they can
Uh,
do it like old school, like Ultima Online, anti PK clans, that'll be good. It'll be good to see some actual true clans that do that,
Yeah.
and hopefully the one character slot thing makes it easier to uphold those values.
right.
Yeah, you really have to wait to see release what clans do what, if they can really hold to it.
Um. Oh, I had a question there. I kind of forgot, but I'll ask this question anyways. Do you guys plan on to own TC assets keeps? Or is that kind of contingent on how you get boulders?
It's contingent on boulders. If we do ever own a keep, it'll be like how we had it before, where we just used it for boulders for never gonna do empire building.
I heard Starvault gifted us a keep at Extraction.
What is extraction, by the way?
Extraction stems from the first guildstone was at Sesame Street, which was named after
Kermit.
Kermit. He was he was an AI as well. First person to create the 108
He
super
also
pot.
owned Extraction too.
Yeah. Sesame Street was named after because Kermit, and Extraction, he had another house there where he did all his extracting at because he had a furnace and something else in it or whatever. Um, so we always just named it Extraction.
Extraction was
I
right
still
out.
don't know where extraction
Well,
is though. I'm
yeah.
still
So
confused.
extraction would be so there's the entrance to Morin. There's the trench where the water goes.
Hmm.
Before you end up going into the pass between the squeeze in the mountains, on the right hand side there used to be 4 house spots, and you could build 4 houses there. So that location is extraction. I don't know if I posted the video on the thread. We had a huge like the server showed up to siege down our house, and there was a massive fight. There was like 12 RPK guys fighting like
Like
for
demons
like
walking
4
Yeah,
around.
there
hours.
was a giant demon going around too.
Yeah, yeah. These guys pulled a demon to stop the siege and everything, and it was huge. But yeah, that's the particular location. It's the house spot, just above the trench going into Morinker. But with TC, there's no more house spots, right? So it's kind of
Right.
the bandit leader, close to the bandit leader. I don't know if you know that
I wouldn't
spot.
say the Dreadlord spawn #1.
Dreadlord spawn. Yeah, there we go. Bandit leader, Dreadlord spawn. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Um.
In MO2 right around, it's that swampy area with all the little puddles.
Yeah. There's that. It's called. There's a keep there called Morenkirk Guild Keep,
Yeah,
and then north of that, there's
that
like
was
those
the
lakes.
extraction area.
Okay. Does anyone from chat have any questions they would like to ask? Any legitimate, like, non-troll questions? And while people may or may not be thinking of questions, I did have a request for a question. Um, it was a person from AI, and I don't even know what it means exactly, but she wanted me to ask you. We win every day. You guys were a part of this guild or like
Oh, that
some
was
sort of.
Core. That was
Oh
Core.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So
He actually used his TeamSpeak, was it, for a while?
no, that was
Mumble.
Mumble
Mumble? It was
server.
Mumble. That's
All right.
Mumble.
So Core, it was a Callium ran into Core in one of the towns,
We actually were fighting them till we
and
found out who it
Core
was.
asked Callium, "Is this the same Callium from Age of Conan?" Because Core was in Templum Assassinorum in Age of Conan, where Bandivius was, the leader of that. And in Age of Conan, I was an officer of Bandivius. I was his merc contractor.
Mhm.
Um, and
He had a
he was
gaming.
like, he was trying to do like some gaming community. We win every day, and he was like, "Oh, can we just join you guys because they were starting new and Immortal?" Did that, and we had access to his Mumble, um, and their forums.
Yeah, we were
So
like comms gypsies. We also
yeah,
used that
because we had
TeamSpeak.
before the Mumble server by Core, the We Win Every Day. It was yeah, we kept hopping different team speaks. Um, we just had to out of necessity.
So wait, what? I'm still confused. It was a what now?
Core owned a gaming community he had called We Win Every Day. When he was
Okay.
playing the guild, he was playing the game. His guild was We Win Every Day. And we were fighting them till we realized who
No,
Core
no,
was.
no, we weren't fighting them.
Yeah, I remember we fought Mo
No,
and them, and then Mo joined us.
no, no, you're thinking of someone else. Core ran into Callium in town. He asked Callium, "Is this the same Callium from Age of Conan?" Because we were clanmates with Core in Age of Conan, and um, they joined up with us.
Yeah, and then you had the war deck with goat, and then you got that beautiful drawing of that goat
He actually made
doing
that.
something.
He made that like that luxury fishing macro.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Core
core was the
Core enhanced the AI's fishing macro.
yeah, and for the record, it was approved by Seb,
Seb.
who's the programmer for the game. He's like, "Wow, you have an advanced knowledge of macros. Good for you." So
And the
we had the
fish
blessing from the company to do it. So
and the fishing nerfs that happened was because Core also told Seb how to he told him a bunch of things to do to try to stop fishing macros. And Seb did do some of those suggestions.
yeah,
Okay.
and then part of the reason why the move away from the we win every day community is These guys on here, they had my back. I had a falling out with Core, and when I got removed, they're just like, bro, we can't just leave Hayasa out there. So they all moved away from that. So they actually left the community for me, and I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
That's
You look
wholesome.
at you. Yeah, that's a legit story. Like
Yeah, it's
all
for
these guys
real.
had my back. So
You and
um,
poor guy in a cursing match.
I think we already answered this, but just in case, someone asked, the change between the RPK exclamation point tag and the RPK tag, and you said that was because of the bugs or whatever, correct?
Discord was like, you're not supposed to have an exclamation point, and then
no,
he's like,
Sebastian said that.
no, Discord did, and he's like, I'm gonna tell Seb, and then Seb patched it in the next day.
I thought it was. I thought Seb said that to Discord. He's like, hey, they're not supposed to have that. I'm like, oh,
No,
that could be causing the bug. Oh, okay.
it was when I had a meeting with Diffreal and Discord.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
actually have
TeamSpeak.
a guild thing where there was no name.
Oh yeah,
Like just spaces or something?
no,
Yeah.
no tag at
No
all.
tag at all.
What was it? That guild Bannerless did it. I thought that was awesome. I don't know how long that guild lasted.
So
Was
it
it
was like you
Asker who
saw
did
the
it?
character, but he had no guild in game.
You
No,
had
you
a
have a
guild.
guild, but you have no tag.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well,
I
that's
thought it was
interesting.
very creative.
And the reason we
But
had the exclamation point because the original RPK stone was locked away in Kildox's
Under
account.
yeah, on Kellogg's band account.
So we said we used we're asking, should we put a question mark? RPK? He said no,
so,
exclamation point.
um,
And
yeah, go
also
ahead.
another thing people wouldn't know is I've always been longtime friends with Killox, and it was Killox had KOV, I had RPK, Hayasa and Killox brokered a deal. They wanted to merge KOV and RPK, and so it would
With Quad's
be
Keep.
no attachment to a name. Hayasa made up the new name Dreadlords, with the dread tag.
Mhm.
But me, X, and Stoll said fuck that because it would have ruined PvP in the game. But Killox liked the name so much he
Some of you guys
went
went on
along with
too.
it.
Yeah, I think for like a week or two
I
or
didn't.
Yeah,
something tops.
to
I
fuck
stayed
But
around.
RPK.
it was all like whatever.
I
Yeah, we just
refused to
did
leave
it.
the RPK tag.
Yeah, because it was trying to get boulders out of quad to siege, right? Like that's the whole that was my whole intent with that, was to be able to get a source to be able to retaliate, because we didn't have a source to retaliate yet. So
Um, I thinking of questions as we're going or whatever. Um, I don't think you guys label yourself as a merc guild, but it sounds like you do a lot of mercenary
oh
work.
no, Steam launch, we did a ton of mercenary work. Like we did so many like mini sieges
You'd be
and like all these
surprised,
different things. Yeah, a
Austin,
lot
who
of
hired
people,
us. Be
Yeah,
a lot of
surprised.
people
well,
hire us.
the thing is, most of the employers um ran a policy is you know the employer's name was only known if they said it themselves, or it was like we're with that clan doing the thing. But we did a lot of anonymous sieges where it's only RPK there. They paid a premium for those services. So much anonymous sieging, and the client list all in my head, never revealed. But you had people paying us to siege their own fucking allies. This shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because you told me that, and I was gonna say that.
We didn't mind taking the hate for it.
Yeah, because it was all we saw was this content for us. Merkin adds content. That's all. It gives us something to do.
Yeah,
Is there?
we were supposed to go fulfill one contract, but then I think Pyre saw us, and then we were just all walking with donkeys. They thought we were going to their palisade. I think we were supposed to go somewhere else. Then we had to circle back, and we had a massive fight for like an hour, like in the middle of a place.
Oh,
Is it going to the Bullhead Tunnel or whatever? Like a spot where you never have PvP. We had a massive fight over there.
there was a one Merc contract. It was by it was around I think maybe south of Three Lakes, and halfway through it,
Blew
and
up.
I typed the water server because water server is deaf. I'm like, "Hey, water, I think we're sieging the wrong palisade." And he goes, "Yeah, you're right. Do you want me to stop?" I'm like, "Nah, let's keep on going." And we sieged the correct palisade, which was right next door the next day. But it was this Russian dude. I forget his name, but he tells Hayasa, Hayasa, prepare thy throat. He pretty much
I remember
threatened
him.
that he was like,
What was his name?
He was a drunk guy.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was drunk and he was pretty much saying that he was gonna rape your throat,
he was like in everybody's team speak. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. But yeah, that guy was always drunk. He's slurring every single word, and then he's got the heavy accent while trying to speak English. It's just funny.
Was this the guy that lived up by Minotaurs or something?
No, it was this. I don't know. Maybe at the time, maybe he moved. I just know this palisade was south of Three Lakes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of palisades by Three Lakes, and the two palisades looked the same. And I don't know why we didn't confirm. I don't know. We fucked up. It is what it is. That's the
Well,
thing. Like, it was I remember Strillin once posted um to the psychology of RPK, and no one believed him. And we were laughing on comms like, this guy's fucking right. He was pretty much saying, if you leave RPK alone, and even if they do something like they siege a random wall or whatever, do not retaliate. Because if you do, that's in they're using that because you're giving them attention, and then they're gonna keep on hitting you. But if you just ignore them, you know, they're just gonna go away to to someone that actually does, respond. Because a lot of times, we were just bored.
but then they're giving you something to do. You mean?
Yeah, if they respond, because yeah, we have no rules. Like, yeah, I remember you asked me this before the interview, um, of like, do we want to kill everyone out of MK and Toxi? It's like, no, but we're not gonna stop either. It's like, you know, that was a problem with MO1. It was great just logging in Toxic Battle and getting PvP all the time, nonstop. But then people move away, and then
Oh, you were talking when I with Terax or whatever. What he
oh
was
yeah,
saying,
because you're asking me,
because he
it's
was bragging in
hilarious
help chat because he said like,
because it's
oh, he made two,
hilarious.
3 guilds move away, and I asked you, I was like, I just asked you out of curiosity or something. I was just like, is that your guys' intent or whatever to make people leave MK? So you're the only ones there or whatever. But yeah.
It happens as a byproduct of the PvP and the griefing because we do grief, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I know Henrik wants to make MO2 less griefer friendly, and that's good for the health of the game. But griefers and griefing guilds are going to grief within the rules. It's
I don't really see this griefing. I mean, it's a full
Yeah,
loot
I personally don't
PvP
see it
game.
as griefing, you know. But
Well, I think
the
people
community feels it's griefing.
like this example is what most people would consider griefing. Like if you're like in town, you're at the bank and you have like an unarmored horse and you decide you want to kill this horse, not for the loot, not for anything, just to make this person mad,
Well,
then
it's
that's what
funny.
people would consider griefing, right? Like cuz you don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, well, you
Um
do get something out of it. It's funny.
right,
You
but that's what would be considered griefing. Something like that. If you like killed his horse and then looted the shit and banked it really quick, that wouldn't be considered griefing. At least in my book, because you were trying to get something out of it or you did get something out of it, you know what I mean?
Well, when it was
I-
easy to delete shit, you kill the horse, you loot it all, and you delete it all just because you can.
Oh, you kill the newborn freaking baby lick with perfect stats. Oof,
Yeah, but also
man,
it also gives them
amazing
something.
feeling.
It gives them someone to hate, and then they want to kill that guy.
And yeah, that's the reason why Starvolt watched me for a year and a half because I killed mounts outside of Bhakti. Pretty fun. I
But
killed 22 in one day. 22 babies. Think about that. 22 newly bred maybe perfect stats. I don't know. Brand new babies out of the
but
stables.
the breeding system was fucked up though.
Nah, I don't. Dude, they were breeding licks and mounteds were aids. So 22 in one day was my record.
And then also people got on our case about spawn camping, but you're not
No,
supposed
they
to
got
spawn in
on
front of
your
someone.
case. Okay, yeah. So he spawn camps, right? Because he's teaching you a lesson. If you keep spawning and he's still standing there, so he was spawn camping. It was some merchant guy. I don't know. Was it Iburani or something,
No,
or Bob or
I
something?
no, I've spawn camped Aralis. I remember there
No,
was some merchant. You talking about the
it
merchant
was
clan?
yeah, it was a merchant guy that
Oh,
kept
oh,
spawning. We left, and like 45 minutes later, we come back. And he's like, "Holy crap, Aku's still there spawn camping." We're just like, "Bro, it's like 45 minutes." I'm like, we left our computers. We came back and he's still there. He's like, "No, I got to teach this guy a lesson." And the
because
guy,
you're not supposed to spawn in front of someone. You go to another priest.
the guy keeps
How
spawning.
low IQ are you to keep spawning to die? It doesn't make sense. I've s- I remember there was a red who definitely has stat loss, and he kept spawning in front of me, and I spawn camped him to no stats. You know, people
It
need
was
to
fun.
learn. I'm teaching them. It's like the expression, about you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but you teach him the fish and you feed him for life. I'm teaching them the hard lesson of how to not get spawn camped.
See, and wasn't it Rodri that said we will destroy the durability of their weapons with our
No, that was
bodies? Or was that
that,
Grak?
no, that was some merchant chick. I think her name was Lovecraft or
Kisses.
something. It was Lovecraft and Kisses. I don't. It was like two. I would say it was a group of them. They wanted to have an in-game meeting with us, and she was trying to pretty much bias. She wanted immunity to farm in the area and not get killed. And I said, I got frustrated, and I'm like, "You wanna know how RPK negotiates?" And she goes, "Yeah." I just pulled out my weapon and started killing them all, and then we spawn camped them at the priest, and she was yelling, "Their weapons shall break upon our bodies. Their arrows, they'll run out of arrows." You
Oh
know,
my
we
god.
didn't stop spawn camping them. I think that went on like for an hour until they stopped.
That's pretty funny.
It was
Was it
hilarious.
was it like RP or she like legitimately meant what she was saying?
I don't know.
They never spoke. It's funny.
That's a good RP line, but if she was serious, that's kind of naive. I don't know.
Well, like when Steam launch happened, right? They say like, "Oh, you killed all these noobs." For the only reason why cocaine went deep red is because I was hanging around the graveyard. I actually gave like reagents to people because they were trying to figure out how magic worked in the game.
Mhm.
But then you have these quote unquote ARPK hero people show up. They see me, and I'm having a conversation with a noob in game. They start fighting me. They start attacking me. So like after a week of like people trying to jump me, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna turn this into a gauntlet. And then I would show up with one weapon, and I'd be naked, and then I would kill. I started slaughtering all the people in the graveyard, and then I would pick up their gear and wear their gear and see how long I can do that for before somebody kills me. So like that's the only reason why cocaine actually went red. Cocaine used to be blue, and
And
I
then you
I
burned it
wouldn't.
off with fishing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't sit there and quote unquote like grief new people per se, but like it came to the point where I'm like, you know what, I might as well. So then I did it, but then at the end of the day, it was
That's not
more of the
everybody
game
though.
itself. Yeah.
Like
Well,
I don't
what
spawn camp, and I've never killed anybody in a graveyard. But if we went on Rome, everybody we meet dies.
I was indiscriminate. I attacked everybody.
Well, I got one more question. You guys can talk about it for a bit, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. Unless someone from chat has a question they want to ask. Um, in general, like, how do you guys feel about alliance mechanics in the game? Do you think? I mean, obviously, there's always going to be people who want to ally other people because they want to secure their pixels or whatever, right? But like, do you guys think that Starvolt should be promoting alliances by having in-game mechanics and features for alliances, or would you guys rather see that taken out and maybe have like an environment where it's more promoted to not have alliances, and every guild should be able to like stand on their own and sort of
I
thing.
My personal opinion is alliance mechanics in the game is good for the health of the game. A lot of people's human nature is to ally up, so there should be game tools to do so.
I don't think. I don't think there should be game tools. I think like you could all dress the same or something like that. But I think only your guild should have the thing. I mean, I have nothing against other guilds who want to be allied with each other, but they should have like a visual way of like the same flag or same banner or whatever. I don't think it should be like a mechanic.
Yeah, I guess my opinion is that I know concessions need to be made to make the game more popular in today's modern culture. Because otherwise, MO2 will be like the same 200 people fucking playing, and that's it. And that will be a real shame for the genre.
I don't think the game will ever get that bad unless it's just like game breaking bugs and like people had the TC towers glitched out and shit like you said in MO1 and all this stuff. The game just like comparatively like MO1 always looked like dog shit, at least for me. Like when I look at it now, it just hurts. Like I was like, God damn, I played this game. I mean, the game was really fun. Don't get me wrong, but like I couldn't even get my friends back in the day to play a fucking free game because it looked so horrible. Even in its time, it looked fucking bad.
But
Um,
look at Last Oasis.
mhm.
I fucking love Last Oasis, but it only has like 200 people playing
Well,
now.
games
And
like MO are a niche genre to begin with because of the full loot. Most people do not like the full loot, being able to kill anywhere. A
the
lot of
same
people who
thing,
play
people
it
don't like
because of
getting
that.
blown up either. They get demoralized. We are an outlier variable that when we get blown up, our activity increases because it's content.
Yeah.
You know? But other like 99% of clans, they get blown up and people start quitting. It's like, you
Well,
know,
yeah, that's why population spikes. So because like usually like when a guild lost its keep, like they would either quit the game altogether or they would take a break. So people would come back to make sure that that didn't happen. And then sometimes obviously it inevitably happened anyways, or just they saved themselves that time, or
You know
whatever.
what kills
Um,
the most guilds? Success. If you own GK, that guild dies.
yeah,
yeah.
that was always whoever moved into the GK keep spot.
The guild fell apart.
Yeah.
That is a very common saying. It's funny, like you guys, you're not even playing MO2 beta, really. Like you guys are also saying that because
Well, it
people have
happened
been saying
about
that for like the
MO1.
past year. Yeah,
It
people.
happened.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
I'm a
It
playing.
was the reason why we didn't want to go to the GK keep spot. We put Icarus there. Uh, but
Are
if
you
you
just
use
saying the game
Icarus,
becomes too easy? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it becomes too easy. You have too much. I had literally banks up there full of Cronite and Og. It was just it became worthless. You know what I mean? It became
You lose because when you didn't run that territory and you went up there and you had to like scavenge for yourself, that excitement
yeah.
of risk is what makes the game fun. When it feels like there's no more risk in the game, it's like, what's the point of playing this full loot game? It's just I can replace it at the snap of my finger. Then it's no longer enjoyable anymore. Like the most exciting thing in the game, and going in here, I don't know what name I'm gonna use, if I'm still gonna use this name or something else. But like running into people I don't know is more exciting than running into someone that I do know, that it's like, oh, I can already judge them and whatever. Like if I run into 3 new players, I am like my adrenaline's pumping more than running into like 3 people that I know exactly how they play already, because it's not there anymore. It's like, oh, I know what they do, so I know if I already have all the odds weighed out, what actions I need to make. That unknown factor is not there anymore. And then if you lived up in GK, you secured the area. It's like, well, I know I'm going to get all this stuff, and then it becomes like the value of acquiring the resources is no longer valuable.
Yeah,
Like when Quad had all the mines set up there, and it was auto mining, so like you didn't have to mine at all. They became so wealthy they quit the game. Like it just came to the point it got boring, and then they were also so worried about losing their stuff that they also didn't want to upset anybody at the same time too. because Icarus said there's a demon that lives inside the Tephra crater, and it's called greed, and that demon comes for everyone at some point.
It's more exciting to transport wealth naked than a geared up transport. Like our first keep deed that was gifted by a member of AI, he transported naked on foot from Meduli all the way to Toxai. No
He didn't think it
escort.
was safer or anything?
No, he didn't want an escort. It's thrilling. You're naked, defenseless, on foot with a keep deed in your inventory, and you're gonna go from Meduli to Toxai. That's a huge thrill.
Yeah, and
For
I think
sure.
that the game too, if the population is sizable in terms of alliances. Alliances will probably form regionally. Who knows? But if it's if the population is big enough where people don't really know like every region is its island per se, then I think the game can be way more successful, and it'll be way more fun with all these different regional alliances fighting each other and content being generated that way versus because one of the big things leading to the end of 2016 or whatever, when everybody knows everybody, it's not fun anymore. Like you like, oh, if like I liked it when RPK didn't talk with anybody, like anybody. We didn't know anyone. It was just they had their own perception, we had our own perception, and it
People
was
did
just
people for years didn't even know who was the leader.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so yeah, it's like our guildstone get blown up and be like, oh, I like the time when Donkey Milk was the guild leader of RPK. He
Oh yeah,
was
we
a
kept
really
telling
good
Stoles.
guild.
We used to force it on Stoles. We used to tell him, "You're the best speller,"
He was telling me he had college.
because
Oh man.
every time we had to add everyone back to the roster, but it was a good way to filter out people that went inactive. That was a very nice feature.
Yeah, so it's so depending on the population at MO2, alliances will form regardless, and there should be something for people to do it. But as long the population's big enough where you don't just get everybody, like literally everybody holding hands again, like that's just the dumbest thing ever. That's a recipe for the game dying again, because
Well,
I think that's what it is.
there's already some pretty big alliances for the game's like population currently. Obviously, at launch, we'll be seeing a lot more new guilds and clans from other games and stuff like that. At least we're hoping, of course, and it's not just a bunch of like new players without a guild who all just join these already formed alliances, because that will just make it even worse than it already is. I mean, currently it's kind of already got like there's like the map's bigger, but it's not that much bigger because like it's basically like north. There's like multiple Northern Alliance guilds, of course, because the North is just like has the best shit, of course. So there's always going to be people fighting in the North against each other and everybody else or whatever. And then there's like the East, and then there's South, and there's like the West Alliance. It's kind of sort of like you guys will figure it out, I'm sure. If you even care, I don't know, but yeah, there's already pretty big alliances in the game, is my point. So
Yeah, I've heard of certain people trying to form like big groups already. The thing is that in the game you got to have people who want to who want to be the king of their own castle, or like the like the alpha, like lion or whatever, the one that wants to run it all, people that want to be their own chiefs. They don't want to they don't want to rely on other people or everyone just kind of together. Like you need people that want to role play, like this is my empire and I do it this way. Like if you had more people like that want to stand up on their own 2 feet instead of being held up by everybody else and then trying to hold up others and whatnot. I think the game would be in general be way more fun. It's going to be way more challenging, but why else play? Like, well, what's the point?
own some
Like,
pixels, dude.
yeah, and then you're gonna look your
Allies
pixels
cause
at 2 o'clock
drama.
in the morning and play some I don't know.
The pixel hoarding, all it does with allies causes drama. You know, from merking out, I'm fully aware of all these people that do alliances. They all backstab one another and shit like that. It's I think it's safer bet um just hiring mercs. Well, You
Although
gotta have
I
also
don't
mercs
like
that don't break contracts either.
long-term contracts. Like
Oh
the
yeah, we
one
never do
single
long term.
thing, like siege
Shit, we would have
this,
merked out
that's
for
it.
ID, but or else, he
Well,
never
he doesn't
he never
hire us.
approached.
Even during the war, he would have hired us to do something. We would have done it.
Yeah,
I would
'cause
say too, like the alliance system. I don't like alliances in general, but same with like mercenary contracts. Like if there was a specific goal and it was like a short-term alliance and it was like, hey, we should ally up to do this specifically and then we'll go right back to fighting each other. Sure, from an outside perspective, it could easily be like, oh, they ally or they're allies and they're always allies, but like as long as like you know that you're fighting them every day and there's like nothing really there, I don't mind like short-term alliances. Like if it's like siege down another guild that they both hate or something, and then they go right back to fighting each other.
well,
Like that stuff, I'm perfectly fine with. But like,
thing
it's
is,
like when they hold nut cups forever and like for years to
It,
come, and
a lot of a lot
it's
of guilds that
cringe.
do what you just said. What happens is that daily PvP, people start getting upset with one another,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that causes drama. But if you're just
yeah,
hiring mercs, all right, they're paid, they show up to do whether it's offense or defense with you, and then they leave, and
Yeah,
yeah,
people have to have integrity with. They need to have principles because if everything's just gonna be wishy washy, then it's like it's whatever. Like in the middle of the ID elimination war, we got hired to do a contract behind Vada, and it was the funniest thing ever because the people defending those people were like Herge these guys that we were actually in the war against ID
oh
with,
yeah,
and
were they
like
pissed off at us?
no, well, dude, we had like it was an hour fight. We ended up pulling back. We lost like half our people. We had to retreat. But like we got the fight. It was right after that we all jumped on to TeamSpeak and we all started laughing at each other because like the day before we freaking siege down something from ID. Today we're fighting each other. Tomorrow we're sieging down another keep together. But like it was funny because in that moment we were hired. We were mercenaries. They knew who they were fighting, so they brought they made sure they had adequate people. um, but at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, it was a contract. It wasn't. It was nothing personal by the end of it. Now, granted, they did manage to pull out the victory in the fight, but it's in the moment there. It was. Let's just say it was just funny because it's like our own alliance was fighting each other, but we understood that it wasn't anything personal, and then we moved on to do what we normally do, and that's how you get the infamous Vicness 3-inch video. It was after that fight.
oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
I forget. Did he say that he was gonna fuck you with his 3-inch cock and?
No,
Cold
he's
hard
gonna
hate.
stick 3 inches of cold hard hate into me.
But didn't he say that his semen was gonna be coming out of
All
every
my
opening of your
follicles and my
body?
eyes
Yeah,
and all this stuff. I was like, wow,
I like
that
the
was the
kids.
funniest thing
I
ever.
don't care what anybody says. I like the guy.
Shit was hilarious.
But yeah, but that was right after that fight, and we all discussed like what we did in that fight and whatever. But it was just like it was nothing personal. It's like we stuck to the contract, we fulfilled it, we did exactly what the contract buyer wanted, and we got a huge fight out of it. And so like if I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, if the alliances are, if people want to, like, they have to have almost like a constitution for what their guild is going to do and what they deem acceptable. Otherwise, they will get dragged into massive hand-holding alliances, and then the game gets stale,
And
and there's nothing going
alliances
on.
are weaknesses too. 'Cause you
Oh
gotta
yeah,
listen.
the punch the girlfriend in the face strategy.
what?
Punch the
Y- y-
girlfriend in the
When
face. You'd
when
always
you
go after
have
the
a
weakest guild in the alliance. So they'd be whining on comms to the other alliance members. You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to.
yeah,
It
if
just
you have
creates
an
drama.
opponent you can't beat, you go punch his girlfriend in the face.
Yeah, for example, Deus, right? We sieged you guys before we even touched any IDs keeps because you were the
Yeah,
girlfriend.
And
Yeah,
then the thing is, the weaker clans, or let's say the vassal states, they go bitch to their lord, and that causes so much internal drama.
yeah,
you
I mean,
don't
if
have
yeah.
you
any
just call
alliances.
yeah, you just punch the girlfriend in the face. No allies, there's no girlfriend to punch.
Yeah, and then the thing too, right? Because if the alliance you're in, you begin to realize, oh, are these guys really here for me to defend them, or am I here to defend, or are they here to defend me as well? And when they don't show up to adequately defend your stuff, all of a sudden, that's less people defending theirs when their turn comes.
Yeah. Like how
So
much effort are they gonna put into my stuff, and then how much effort am I gonna put back into their stuff when they need it, sort of thing.
exactly, and that was, and what's funny is that's part of ID's undoing is as it went on and the smaller people began to get blown up, they began to realize, I'm like, oh man, we might actually be just buffer guilds for ID.
Yeah,
Well, it was
that was
politically
actually.
smart of Arouse, though, but it didn't hold up.
Yeah, he only gained stuff. He didn't really lose anything. Like when we got attacked and war decked and stuff, like he wasn't losing anything. If anything, his guys got PvP. But if he got siege, he knew we would show up because we didn't have any assets to defend. So it was just like a win-win for him. So yeah, he was very smart to have all these little vassal guilds that didn't have any assets or anything. Like he only achieved by basically we were an extra limb for him. Like we were more members in a different guild, sort of thing, to defend his assets and stuff. So I don't have any ill will against Arouse. I think he was smart. I think he was like a nice guy. Like he never did anything to me personally. So
Yeah, I don't have any ill will against anybody in the game. Like I said,
Yeah,
it's just a game. I don't hate anybody.
it's a strategy. It's a strategy.
well, I mean, you can like dislike someone and not hate them though. Like
No,
you
no,
can
no.
be like, oh, that guy's a dickhead. Like but
I hate
not hate him.
Lifebender for
No.
a very specific reason, because he told Difanos' little brother, Luhidi,
Yeah, took advantage of a fucking child.
yeah, he stole money from him, made him take his mom's credit card and order him pizza, told him he should grow up and do a ton of drugs. So I'm like, all right, dude. Specifically, I don't like that guy. So
Unless you're hacking or cheating at the game, I
Schmerz.
have no reason to hate people.
Wait, isn't he dead though?
Yeah. What? Just because he's
Wait,
dead, he's a saint now?
Wait, why can't? Well, no, I mean, how can you hate him if he's dead though? I think you mean hated him.
No. Well, yeah, whatever. Hey, are they transporting his tombstone into Meduli and MO2? Are they bringing over the tombstones?
No,
I don't know.
That was 400 years ago.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have survived the test of
It's
time.
200 years ago.
200.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? We're fast forwarding time in the lore?
Yeah, the conflicts happen, everything gets destroyed.
Yeah, there was like an earth-shattering like event. It's on their website, the lore or whatever. You can read it.
That's why the
Yeah,
keeps are
200 years.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Alien
ruined.
underground species invaded and then they disappeared.
Sunken Isle has roads now. We're prospering,
okay.
boys.
I do like it to have roads and road signs now.
Yeah, that is good. People were suggesting that in MO1 as well. It would be different newbies.
Well, there's no roads to jungle camp. There's like random paths that can kind of help you, but it's so fucking easy to get to jungle camp in MO2 than it was in MO1. Like you follow the river east and then you just go straight south and you're basically at jungle camp.
Well,
It's like the
beginning
easiest.
of MO1, it was a nightmare. The darkness was dark. There's actually, and had little terror birds everywhere.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, we should be getting terror birds soon. Like the
So-
next
so-
couple packages.
So I
Yeah.
would say the one person that to dislike, you could say, is Instakilla, but I heard he's out of jail now. So he did.
I heard that he got out of jail a
DDoS.
month or two ago.
Yeah, he did he was responsible for the DDoS that in the 2015 war. And
Is
the
that
thing
why
with
he went to
him
jail?
is, like,
He did the 3-week DDoS before Sudoku launch, and he did the 5-week DDoS that really
Oh,
tanked
he
the
did
population.
He did the 5-week too. Okay.
Yeah, he
I
was
knew
in
about the first
Dread.
one.
He did the
Oh,
DDoS
yeah.
when Strelin was sieging that.
He did all the
Kill
account-
Yeah, to save the freaking
All the
keeps.
account
Yeah, that's right.
information.
Oh yeah, also the data breach,
Yeah.
clearing of the ban list, deleting the forums. So much shit he did.
Yeah, and then someone
That's
dared
the
him
number.
to
That's the
release
number
Bulgarian
one.
information.
Yeah, I think cybersecurity is the number one. That was the downfall of
Of Mortal.
Online
Yeah,
one.
it's literally that. Cybersecurity and then server stability. Those are the biggest contributors to the population decreases. It's that.
I know a lot of people put hate on us for griefing, but even the newbies at Steam launch for griefing. Everybody's gonna. A lot of people are gonna grief. That
Dude,
wasn't the downfall of Mortal Online 1.
There was a guy named Himmler. All right, people making characters named Himmler in this game. I'm surprised I didn't kill Hitler too in the MK graveyard.
Plus the
There-
launch. The launch has to go smooth, or first impression is
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, because of the first 2 weeks, right? The first 2 weeks. But,
All right, boys.
yeah.
Is there any final words you guys would like to say?
Anti's saying that it had nothing to do with Strillin sieging, but Killox told me differently.
You sure
So he's
press
saying the
another.
server crashed and it was playable because the server was unplayable. No one can even play for 5 weeks.
All right. Anyways, let's not get dragged into that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. Do you guys have any last words or anything you want to say or anything of anything? Again, if anyone is looking to join RPK for their return, mostly at launch, they are playing now, but mostly they're going to return at the launch of Mortal Online 2. If you guys want to join RPK or have any inquiries, hey Asa, if you want to link your Discord tag again in the chat, contact Hey Asa. He's their recruiter. And yeah, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was fun. I learned a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
posting this on
you.
my YouTube channel, and I'll send it to you guys or to Aku, and he can give it to you guys. It won't be up for several hours though, because the fucking rendering and all the exporting shit takes forever for whatever reason. But it'll probably be done by tonight, and I'll get it to you guys.
We much appreciate it because members in different time zones, they're gonna want to listen.
Yeah, we probably have people working who came and watch it live or something. Since sometimes Twitch is blocked at like work sites and stuff. So, but yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, and see you on the battlefield.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank
See
for
you guys in
having us.
MK.
Yeah, in MK.
Yeah. All right. Bye, boys.
All right, bye-bye.
Alrighty. Alrighty, boys. Well, I appreciate it. That was very fun for me. Long live RPK. The RPK friends. Talk to you guys soon. Yeah, Bomex, if you're serious about joining, reach out to Hayasa. But yeah, that was fun. Definitely learned a lot about RPK. Got to some of their history. Sounds like they're coming into MO2, not taking any allies. Probably not gonna go for assets too much, just like the necessities for sieging. And yeah, man, it should. They're gonna spice things up. It sounds like. And if you guys are looking for mercs, it sounds like they'll be doing a lot of merc work again. So hit them up. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing the podcast tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. Hold on, let me pull up the guest list real quick. So we're gonna have Valine from Dreadlords. We're gonna have Aku again from RPK. We're gonna have Mobius from RPK, who was not here today. We'll have Quick from VII, and we'll have Rolu from ID. So we're actually gonna have RPK and ID on tomorrow. So that should be interesting just for that fact alone. So you guys can see them talking to each other about the game, whatever. So that should be fun. If Mobius can't make it, I think Hayasa is going to come in his stead for tomorrow. We'll see. But either way, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, we're doing our Mortal Portal podcast. I believe this is number 8. It's either number 7 or 8, but I think it's number 8. And yeah, and then after that, we're having the Tendrum Siege event that Henrik is hosting for all of the Mortal community at Tendrum. So if you guys are looking for more content or want to get back in MO2 and need something to do, it'll be tomorrow at 1800 UTC at Tendrum. So everyone should come to Tendrum and let's get a big fucking fight, boys. Let's get some PvP. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern here tomorrow for the Mortal Portal podcast. And thank you guys all for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a good one, boys.